Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. I already know what it is. We got ourselves a hell of a game to discuss tonight. As Flight Sports, man, we in Las Vegas with it. You know, we had the California Classic. A lot of stars, a lot of our favorite players did not show up and show out. But you know, when it comes to the Thomas and Mack, Las Vegas, all the stars will be out. Brandon Miller, you know, was out in USA Basketball. There was a lot of speculation about would he be, you know, playing. And his name was on the roster, but we all know he had obligations with USA Basketball that prevented him from, you know, playing. I'm here to tell you tonight that we should be seeing Brandon Miller. Also, we should be seeing the debut of T-Jan Saloon, the rookie, you know, for the Charlotte Hornets. They're taking on the New York Knicks. The Knicks don't really have any notable names, in my humble opinion. I think that the Hornets could really steamroll, you know, the New York Knicks. And I like what Miller, I like what Charles Lee could bring. We also going to get a better look at what's going on with Nick Smith Jr., who I think has potential to stretch the floor. They have already let go of some guys, so this is a run it back situation. If you know the history, last year, just a year ago, Brandon Miller, his, you know, summer league did not go as planned. It got off to a rocky start. Miller missed shots. You know, he wasn't the most efficient. You know, a lot of people didn't like this, didn't like that. People thought they should have went the Scoot Henderson route. You know, but at the end of the day, you have to give these young players time to develop into who the hell they actually are going to be and actually going to become. And tonight, we're going to get a better look at who they are going to be and become, because the Charlotte Hornets are back. This is a young basketball team, so a lot of these guys are the focal point. Like I said, Miller is going to be a major focal point for the Charlotte Hornets. I'm expecting all-out domination if you Brandon Miller. You know, anywhere from 25 to 30. You know, definitely 20 plus. Just looking like a man amongst boys. I think that's what. And Miller's out there doing stuff for USA Basketball too. So Miller should really be taking another step and showing that he's just, you know, on another level. So I'm be looking into that now. The Charlotte Hornets have went through a series of changes, moves, and all kind of shit. You know, we are knee deep in free agency. You know, obviously they've made moves to, I believe, have improved the roster. I'm not saying drastically, but to a degree. The roster is a little bit more complimentary all around the board, from veterans to young guys. I think they finally got the right blend, you know, of shooting, you know, efficient shooting potentially. You got guys who's going to be able to get the most out of each other, not just the coaching staff demanding. You know, I think now you got guys like Grant, you got Taj Gibson. You know, I can't wait to see what Taj Gibson could do for a guy like, you know, Saloon. I want to know what the hell he's going to look like. You know, a lot of people, you know, was lost when they went with the kid from France. France is clearly having a wild connection. If you've been paying attention, the kid Alex Sarr, you got Researcher, they have all played already. Now you're going to get a good look at the kid Saloon and what he's going to bring to the Charlotte Hornets. How is Melo going to be able to manipulate the game in his favor? There's a lot of different things that I believe are very important and I think could be answered in a matter of minutes. How's Charles Lee going to use Brandon Miller? It's not like none of these guys are going to see the floor. They've already let go of Bryce McGowan's. That's opening up things for a guy like Nick Smith Jr. I think they got plans for Nick Smith. As I've been watching, I see a different level in Nick Smith Jr. I see more calmness. I see relaxed. That's what I've noticed. I don't know if it was because they had so many guards, everybody was breathing over their shoulder. Even Bryce McGowan's being there, could be. I don't know how that was for Nick Smith Jr., especially before he signed. I think he signed with the Blazers or something like that, McGowan. So McGowan's is on his way out of here. And like I said, it's time to focus on the young talent that is actually here, that actually looks like they want to become something. It's oftentimes too many times where the Hornets have had young players who, maybe they just came here for the money, or this was the biggest bag. Even a guy like Taj Gibson, he getting $3 million a year. That's pretty good for a guy like Taj Gibson. There's a lot of teams that wouldn't even fork out $2 million for Taj Gibson. So a lot of people do come to Charlotte for a payday, in my humble opinion. But I do think that change is on the horizon. And let me know in the comment section and in the live chat. Do you believe change is coming to Charlotte? Is this enough? And I'm not saying they're going from last to first, but can they get back into the playing picture? Are they closer now, to the 8th seed than they was prior to the offseason? I would say yes. They are definitely closer to the playing and competing for that. Now we all know what it's going to take to compete for that. Shout out my man Mike in the chat. So if you're a Hornets fan, it's definitely a good time, man. It's been a while since the Hornets have looked promising, and it's looking like they're gonna be able to get back. You don't know what a lot of these teams are gonna be doing. Obviously, you have a situation in Atlanta. They done let go of DeJounte. They done let go of all these different people. That opens up the door, for a team like Charlotte to roll up in there and finally get back into position. So it's gonna be key. We moments away from tip off anyway. We can't wait to see what Brandon Miller will bring, to the table. It's Flight Sports. Let me know also what are you most excited about? I was looking at the kid Reed Shepherd. Yesterday they was going up against the Los Angeles Lakers. I thought that he looked probably one of the best, so far. Reed Shepherd, in my opinion, he scored effortlessly. And, it was tough night out there for the Lakers, but it is what it is. Bronny James is going to take progress. We got to remember he's the 55th pick, not the 5th pick. So expectations, he's starting to come around a little bit. I seen a report that he was in some kind of slump or whatever. Like I said, I obviously he's going to be judged differently from others, but I think that he's progressing well. He's not looking unplayable out there, and a lot of people thought it would be a situation like that. I think he just got to iron some things out. If you're going to play defense and you could potentially hit some threes, goddamn it, they'll always have a spot for you, especially in today's league. LeBron is his father, so I'm pretty sure LeBron is putting him on game on what to do with this and that. She's a Shepherd got some wiggle too. Pause. Like I said, the kid is nice so far. I think he's gonna bring a nice dynamic to Houston. Something that they don't have. He can score the ball, pretty quickly. I think he had 23 yesterday on Bronny, and Bronny was checking him, for a lot of those possessions. A guy who we won't see today for the Charlotte Hornets is KJ Simpson. I'm pretty high on that kid. I did some homework on him out of Colorado. He actually, I think he had a little situation, that's preventing him from playing. So it's unfortunate that all of the young guys, but at least they give us some surprise as we get into the season. We got good guard play. Veteran base, and we got some young guys. So I think LaMelo is definitely buffered in an event of anything. Whether LaMelo is there, I think he's got a lot of backup when he's out the game. People who can run it, to a certain degree. Teston says Hornets have a complete NBA roster now. Love the Taj Gibson pickup. Shout out to Teston. Yeah, that Taj Gibson pickup was massive, in my opinion. I think obviously you ain't gonna see it so much in the floor. It's not like you're gonna have Taj out there going 20 and 10. Going, running it up and doing it. It's not gonna be like that. It's the value that he brings. Is a reason why he's still in the league today. You need him on these benches. You need veterans. There's a place for veterans. Often you want to push these guys out the door, but I think it's a place for veterans. I think, before they retire, they should get about a year or 2 or 3, just being on the bench, coming in the game for garbage time, because somebody got to be there forking the information to them. It's different when it comes from a coach, or the actual player who's in the foxholes with them. I think Taj Gibson, he's gonna battle these guys in practice, So I think a guy like T-Jan, I think Taj Gibson could get the most out of him. I want to see. I can't wait to hear the practices with Taj Gibson and Mark Williams. So that's where we're gonna see the value, the most, and the evolution and the development of all these players. Because if you read the fine print of the Taj Gibson pickup, he was brought here for mentorship, so he's not brought on here to compete for anybody's minutes. So that's good. Phantom says, good guy to teach Mark the veterans tricks. Yes, I think even Miles Bridges, you see they just re-signed Miles. A lot of people thought Miles was out the door. Hell, I thought he was out the door too when they went for T-Jan. I just didn't see a pathway for Miles, coming back. But hell, he's back. So give credit to Miles Bridges and the Hornets for getting it done. Um, Nonetheless, this is gonna be a big year. The playoffs are on the horizon if the Hornets hold their cards right and everybody's healthy. So health. How important is health? A lot of people are gonna try to downplay the health. But I'm serious. I'm not out here to sell you a dream. With the roster that they have, you got guys that are coming off of postseason, situations, people who are used to winning. So it's not like Reggie Jackson has come here to, you know, BS around, and just, let go of his NBA career and just lose and fight for a draft pick. The Hornets, they can't afford, and I was telling the people this before, the Hornets, they cannot afford to getting this Cooper flag sweepstakes. You have a situation where you have to win. And so you have to compete to win. Now if you lose because you're that damn bad, is a whole nother situation. But you have to go into the season, looking to win. Looking to put the best roster. When have you seen the Hornets involved in so many transactions? It seemed like every minute or any second, the Hornets could be involved in something. The Hornets, they wasn't involved in nothing the past couple of years, nothing of significance. There's a situation going on. Klay Thompson out the door. The Hornets end up in the middle of that trade. The Hornets still making moves in free agency as we speak. So the activity level for Charlotte is definitely upped since I see new ownership, since I see the new president, since see the new coach. So that's there. Like I'm telling Kupchak was asleep at the wheel. It was times where I'm like, when they gonna get in the conversation? Was always my thing with Charlotte. They never was in the conversation for none of these people. Whether you get sending your fan base some hope that hey, you was in there. You damn near pulled it off. It's just you didn't have this, you didn't have something. But T-Jan, who we're gonna see today in his debut. We're gonna get a chance to see another guy who is gonna add another domino to this young core for the Charlotte Hornets. That's really what's key. He's another piece to the puzzle of what's going on. A lot of people comparing him to Giannis. I'm not gonna go that far. Like I said, let's just see what the kid could bring. But it's all about how's he gonna look with LaMelo. How's he gonna look next to? We're gonna get a eyewitness on how he looked next to Brandon Miller. So that's why I think today is good. Also, I'm looking at the kid Leaky Black, as you can see him in this image. Clearly, I think it's a plan in place for these young guys. It looked like before they just had a bunch of young people just thrown together. Now it's looking like a plan for all of them. I see the pathway. And I told the people they had to mow the grass. You had to let go of some of these people that was wasting away. And I like what the Hornets have done. The JT throwers of the world up out of there. It's time to, shake up the joint. They got rid of Amari Bailey. They got rid of people who was just, literally just taking up space. They don't have time for this. And I like what the man said, Peterson. He wants the Charlotte Hornets to be one of the premier franchises in the NBA. That was the words out of Jeff Peterson. Now let's see what Peterson and these Charlotte Hornets could put on the table. Because now they got another domino in this young core in the kid T-Jan. So we moments away. We're gonna get a good look at what Brandon Miller's gonna bring to the table. And remember, Miller did not have a good summer league last year. So look out for Brandon Miller to come out here and go ape and erupt. I wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me at all. You got a lot of games. I'm gonna run you down the summer league schedule for today. Obviously, the summer league starts with Brandon Miller today, kicking things off. But actually, you do have the Bucks and the Bulls. They going at it right now. Also, you're gonna have the Miami Heat versus the Boston Celtics. You got the Detroit Pistons versus 76ers. Also you got the Thunder versus the Raptors. That game, I'm circling that game. I want to see that. Um, Also, we should get a good look at the kid Isaiah Collier. 10:30 they're going up against Dallas. So there's a lot of good players to look at. Michael says, "Yeah, man, finally some direction." That's all that was needed. Direction. But at the end of the day, you're gonna need help. I don't think the Hornets is all that off. Also I don't think the Hornets is one of the better young teams in the league either. But I like what the pieces that they put in. Let's see what the kid Saloon could do. Could he be another piece on that puzzle? Next to all of them. Is he gonna eventually make Miles just signed a 3-year deal? Miles could be here for another year or two and then shipped up out of here. And the kid TJ, he's a rookie, so he might not be ready, to step in just yet. You got all these people developing him, and for the next, who knows, a year or two, he might be ready to step in. He may be able to come in and give quality minutes. A guy who could give you 15 points, 15 to 20. You need multiple guys who could do that. You can't just have LaMelo and Brandon Miller scoring all the points. They have to figure out a way to unlock this guy. Also, the best part about the situation is you have head coach Charles Lee coaching. Now, that's why I'm saying this is why this is so impactful, because oftentimes, as you could even see with the Lakers, or even all these other teams, I use the Lakers as an example because they have a similar situation as the Hornets in some degree, because at least Charles Lee was actually on the bench. He was the lead assistant to a championship in Boston, and he's very humbled. He's obviously a lot more humble, it seems, than JJ Redick. JJ probably feel is beneath him to be coaching summer league, or he could have coached a few games, just cause, But I give major props to Charles Lee for going out there and coaching, getting a head start on the season, and these players are getting a head start on their new coach. They was not getting this. They was dealing with Camp. They had to get rid of him too. So there was a lot of problems that was going on with the Charlotte Hornets, especially with the developmental system. And if we can't appoint the right people, God damn it, we got to get hands on ourselves. And that's what Charles Lee has done. He and his assistant or whatever he's doing. And that's what's gonna be you. It moves the Hornets. So they got a lot of good things enrolling in their favor. Like I said, it's not just lip service. Pause. They got a perfect storm going. I think they got finally the right young guys. And this coaching staff. Just being hands-on. You see with Charles Lee, if you've been noticing. I see ESPN and Bleacher Report picking up some of the quotes from Charles in the huddles and and seeing if they could turn the Hornets thing around. But at the end of the day, Charles Lee could run into the same situation as the other coaches. His health. It does look like they are putting things in place. Like I said, I'm just sitting back watching. It seems like they are getting themselves bulletproof if LaMelo did have to miss any time. I'm just noticing that with all of these guards that's on this roster. It totally looks like they about to shuffle the deck, around here possibly, and they still want to be competitive no matter what. They don't want a situation where if LaMelo was to miss any time, they fall off the map, because LaMelo was single-handedly, like I said, the Hornets were kind of messed up, as a team, but he was going to make the all-star team if he didn't get healthy. I mean, if he didn't get hurt, because he was single-handedly, just going off. They couldn't deny those numbers. They couldn't, despite how horrendous the Hornets was. They could not deny those numbers. I want to see what Charles Lee brings, today to the real core, because obviously it looks good when you coaching in the California Classic. Not many of the other talents are showing up to play there. And a lot of your guys aren't there. Saloon didn't play in the California Classic. Miller wasn't there. So now you get a situation where how does he look against the guys that's actually going to be out there? That's really the $1 million question. How is he going to look? And like I said, we don't have to wait too much longer. We got a couple minutes before tip off. Live from Las Vegas. The Thomas and Mack. It don't get no better than this, ladies and gentlemen. This is becoming iconic. There's the summer league. Every summer it seems like it takes its own twists and turns of what players that's going to be there. But now you got this crop. I got my eyes on Brandon Miller tonight. I got my eyes on the Charlotte Hornets. Let's see what they do. You already know it's Flight Sports. Shout out all y'all in the chat. We are moments away from tip-off. I got my man Dex in the building. What's the deal, Dex? It's Flight Sports. We got Summer League action. We be getting a good look at Brandon Miller. We got Hornets Knicks. What's the deal?
Yeah, play. Is Brandon Miller going to play?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, he should be playing. But I know for a fact the Kids Saloon is playing. So they have definitely more significant players now. We coming to Vegas. I'm about to get more knowledge if anything else arose. But as I was concerned, Miller was in Vegas practicing with the team, prepared to play. So what I'll do is since you said I need to take a look now. Well, you heard something else?
No, I haven't really followed the Charlotte Hornets Summer League outside of the California Classic.
Well, this
I
is their
was
first
watching.
game. This is their first game in Las Vegas.
Yes, I was watching them in the California Classic, and they looked pretty impressive because they won their first two games for sure. And when was the last time that we could accurately say the Charlotte Hornets won a Summer League game? So just in that instant, it was 2-0, and I don't know how they ended up record-wise in the California Classic, but just being 2-0 starting Summer League was impressive to me for the Charlotte Hornets. And then another thing, Flight, is Charles Lee was on the sideline coaching these boys up, getting an intimate relationship with them prior to training camp. And I thought that was a big win in itself, since this is his inaugural year with the Charlotte Hornets and first time head coach in the NBA period. So for him to get off on a trampoline of that magnitude, I found it was very fascinating. And now he has an opportunity to showcase his coaching tutorial with an elite player like Brandon Miller, and forging and merging and integrating the mind, the body, and the soul of Charles Lee unto this young Charlotte Hornet team who's trying to make a way with a cornucopia of new and improved talent, as well as coaching staff. And
Yeah, all right. It sounds like you broke up towards the end, but you're absolutely right. We're gonna get a witness on what's going on with Miller. We're gonna keep our eyes and attention. But from reports, Miller is in Vegas, suited to play along with TJ and Saloon. So we just gotta wait, a few minutes to see what's going on. But we should see one. And I think one of them is key, because we have to see what's going on with the rookie, how he's going to look along with Charles, along with everybody. Charles Lee Michael says Charles Lee is a teacher. It's definitely, he seems like he got the patience. He seems like he's the guy for the job. He's the best coach I've seen so far that they've hired. Now let's see on paper now what he could bring. I think he's young. What would you say?
I was saying, like, yes, and what you said, I was breaking up, so I was saying basically Charles Lee, to me, in the quaint observation that I have had on him in the Charlotte Hornets, looked to be a fistful of dollars. And what a missed opportunity that JJ Redick displayed in the California Classic, not coaching Bronny James and Connect Four and Blake Henson, etc. Right? Charles Lee is the opposite of that. See, he's coming from a winning pedigree, Flight, and these are things that you pick up on when you observe someone of that magnitude as Charles Lee. He's in there. He's in the thick and the throes of the war zone. He's not trying to duck, dodge, or escape any kind of initial criticism that might come his way in his first two exhibitions in the California Classic that I've witnessed. So right there, I appreciate his unmitigated goal to participate with this young core that's trying to coalesce within the Charlotte organization to be a staple, Flight, for a winning culture at the Spectrum Center.
Right, good call. What do you think about some of the pickups they've made, veteran base? This morning Taj Gibson was announced. You got Kemba, you got a lot of these different moves. Reggie Jackson, Josh Green. What do you think about some of these people that they're bringing on, differently from what we accustomed to seeing from the Hornets?
Well, I got a question mark for Reggie Jackson. That still remains to be seen if he's going to actually adore himself with a Charlotte Hornets uniform. So that remains to be seen. But Green and the coaching staff enhancement, I'm all for. Especially the optics of Kemba Walker returning to the organization that drafted him and sent him to 4 different All-Star appearances and I believe 2 playoff appearances. So I like that. I thought it was a real good gesture for the city of Charlotte to present a peaceful overture for Kemba Walker to return to the Charlotte Hornets organization. I thought it was fantastic, and I think he will be a big influence on the Melo Ball because Kemba Walker knew a lot about basketball, right? Like I said, I seen him in person play against the Lakers, and he put up like 40 something on Kobe and company. And they had Jeremy Lin, Kobe Bryant, what's the other boy from Duke, Boozer, Carlos Boozer, all them people. And Kemba Walker ran circles around the Los Angeles Lakers at the Staples Center, as it was named at the time. And Kobe Bryant was on the floor, as well as Jeremy Lin. And I couldn't believe every time I heard the announcer, he kept saying, Kemba Walker, 2-point shot. Kemba Walker gets 2 free throws. Kemba Walker from the 3-point line. I was like, God damn, this ain't Kemba Walker Stadium for crying out loud. So I know a lot of people have different opinions of Kemba Walker, but what my eyes saw of Kemba Walker, he was a really, really fantastic player to watch, very entertaining, and it was just a travesty flight that Michael Jordan didn't build a wall around Kemba Walker as a fortress, even though Kemba Walker took him into the playoffs to continue the Kemba Walker legacy in Charlotte Hornets organization.
So are they moving in the right direction?
Well, listen, I'm gonna give the brothers a chance, right? Wesley Snipes taught me not to bet against black. So Charlotte Hornets from Rick Snall and Gabe Plunkton have seen it fit to put some color in the Charlotte Hornets front office. And don't be so pale. And with Jeff Peterson and company and Coach Charles Lee coming off of a NBA championship, restoring Boston Celtics to glory, he was a part of that journey, that arduous journey for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and Al Horford and company to restore Boston back to the glory days when they was on top of the heat of the NBA. So for him to be a part of that and as rigorous as it was for Boston to get back to the pinnacle of the NBA, yes, they're moving in the right direction. And from the NBA championship, getting hired from that coaching staff as an assistant to the Charlotte Hornets, I think Charles Lee is ready to eat. Like,
I'm with you there, man. I got nothing but hope, for Charles Lee. Peterson has done, but like I was saying, part of me prior to you coming, the activity level, from Peterson and they involved in deals, they got their hand in shit, and I think that's very intriguing, especially prior to the previous regimes where we wish they was in this conversation. They wish they was in this, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully we should see Brandon Miller. We should be seeing the kids saloon tonight. Also, we got Nick Smith Jr. We got a lot of people, who are going to play focal points, in the Hornets, team coming season. I think we could be looking at possibly 3, unless they go. We don't know what they're doing with Leaky Black. It could be 4, but it seems like they working with him this summer. Let's see what he becomes, in this NBA. Shout out to Malaya in the chat. Salute to all y'all that's in here. Getting ready, for the Charlotte Hornets and that upcoming Las Vegas Summer League, where the stars do pop out. Also, you starting to see, I heard Charles Lee say he wanted to see everybody together and supportive and things like that. So it wouldn't surprise me if it was a situation where you actually seen a lot of our favorite Hornets players there, because that's what he has been preaching. He wants to see people showing up So let's see what they do. Let's see if we see LaMelo. Let's see if we see Mark Williams and some of the other guys, or maybe even the veterans. That's going to be what I'm going to be paying the most attention to. Who's going to be there representing and backing up this young core? I see DeJounte, out there, when the New Orleans Pelicans is playing. I see a lot of these other veterans, courtside and, present. That goes a long way. And like the Hornets, they can't skip a step. They gotta go step by step, brick by brick, to get them right back to where they need to be. And get back to the playoffs and the postseason. All I could hear is Peterson saying he wants the Charlotte Hornets to be one of the premier franchises in the NBA. That's what he said. And it's gonna take a lot to do. But if health is on their side, it could accelerate the process. Mark Williams is not in the summer league. Mark Williams he'll just be, I think he was there. He's just there, just showing support. You're not going to see Mark Williams play in the summer league. That's beyond him. And even if Brandon Miller is playing, like I said, he arguably could be the best player in the goddamn summer league. Do you expect him to play a lot? Probably not. I could see a situation. Last year, I think he played like 2 good games and they was ready to pull him. So I could see a situation. Let's say Miller come out tonight if he plays and he puts up 35 and whatever. They'll probably say, he ain't got to play no more. They've seen enough, and develop some of the other players that need it the most, like Nick Smith, like Leaky Black, like the kid Saloon, because Miller, we know what he's about. We know what he's about. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to slow you down just a tad bit. Yeah, I don't think Miller is somebody we should be watching here, because Miller has already proved that he is a high processor in this game, with or without LaMelo Ball on the court. And his ascension to be the number 3 overall rookie in the draft behind Wembanyama, obviously, and Chet Holmgren, surprisingly, that Brandon Miller was able to be up in that top 3. So he has already basically cemented his development and play from last season. What I really want to see is, has Bryce McGowan, have he matured, and could he be thoroughly acclimated to the Charlotte Hornets top 7? That's what I want to see. What type of leap and bounds have Bryce McGowan taken since his last outing as the Charlotte Hornets? Because it was kind of fickle with him. The new organization was kind of fickle with Bryce McGowan coming over from that Jordan era. Will he be able to seamlessly fit in the program of JP and CL, Jeff Peterson and Charles Lee? So I want to see Bryce McGowan. So I'm going to be watching him. That's what my observation is going to be. I want to see what optics develop from Bryce McGowan game. He was pretty good up in the California Classic, but now let's see Bryce McGowan perform when the bright lights are on.
Well, I'm gonna have to stop you there. This was cut from the Hornets, and he has signed.
Oh my God! No way!
He has signed a 2-way contract. Portland Trailblazers. So we'll have to watch him out in Portland.
Oh no! They gave up.
The Hornets are cutting baggage with some of these guys that are collecting dust.
Blake,
and
he was doing good.
Well,
he was doing good in the California Classic.
Well, if you want to say the California Classic, but I remember in the season he was missing a lot of wide open threes. You replace him with a guy like Josh Green. I like that.
Yeah, and Flight, you know what? And he did get into the doghouse with Cliffy. He got into the doghouse with Cliffy, and he lost substantial amount of playing time based on that. So, wow, I did not know they waived him and gave up. So they cut all the fat off of the Michael Jordan era?
Exactly.
Is that what that say?
You start. That's why I said they cut so many people. You forgot who got cut. I ain't gonna lie. Like I didn't know they cut
Oh,
JT Thor. I knew,
oh
but
yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I knew that because I knew they cut him. But I mean, that was obvious, right? JT Thor, he never panned out. So I mean, just go ahead and cut the fat. Let him thrive somewhere else. Hopefully the African can do well somewhere else. But it just wasn't working in Charlotte, right? The circular foundation in Charlotte just wasn't good for player development under the Michael Jordan era. We have to just admit that. You have to be really what word can I approach? Got the PG, right? It hasn't been much development. I mean, you
oh,
can
listen,
say
listen. We
Jay
got breaking
McDaniels.
news, y'all. We got breaking news. We got breaking news. Brandon Miller is playing. God damn it. We got Nick Smith Jr., Xavier Simpson, Brandon Miller, Leaky Black, and Jake Steffens. You also have for the New York Knicks Jacob Toppin. If you don't know who he is, that is the brother of we all know Obi Toppin. They thought they was gonna bring him on to do this, and that. So I'm here to tell you right now, we got B Miller, Brandon Miller in the game. It's Flight Sports TV, Charlotte Hornets basketball. It don't get no better than this, goddamn it. We live right now. New York Knicks, they got control of the basketball. It's crazy right now. Brandon Miller out there on the defensive end. Let's see what he brings to the table. He rebounds it. So Miller's on the board already for the rebound. Miller putting the moves on early. I'm telling you. Miller faking threes. So he ain't launched it yet though. But you know what's coming. Salute to everybody right now in the chat. It's Flight Sports. We got a break in the action right now. What are you looking forward to seeing from Miller tonight the most? I mean, with 30 points, 40. I mean, what we need to see?
Well, since I just got ontological shock that Bryce McGowan was cut after having I think a plus 20-point game up in the California Classic. Yeah, Brandon Miller should be able to do his thing. I think Brandon Miller would be very altruistic this game and allow what's the new guy named Dijon?
T. John, yeah.
Tijon, yeah, allow Tijon to smoke a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
he remembers how it was when he was a rookie. So I think he's gonna allow Tijon to go ahead and get some shine.
I'm looking at Miller's swagger. He definitely looking relaxed, calm, cool. The swagger's like, man, you know who I am? I'm just looking at the way he was his mannerism for a second. Pause. This is his second rebound. So he on the glass. Maybe is that something that he's gonna be bringing? Let's see if he's gonna be looking offensive. Is he gonna be looking to pass? They doubled Miller already. It's the second possession. They doubled him. So I'm pretty sure that's in the scouting report. The Hornets, they 4-zip
Yes.
right now. They undefeated in summer league play too, Dax.
See, that's what I just told you. I told you I watched the first two games and these boys was cooking and I was impressed. But they let go Bryce McGowan. I was shocked because I thought this was going to be his breakout season. Not that he was just going to supplant anybody significant on the Charlotte Hornets, but average at least about 13 points a game with maybe about 4 rebounds and 2 assists. I thought this would be Bryce McGowan's year to showcase his skills.
Yeah, Nick Smith Jr. just missed it. So like I said, I'm looking at, like I said, Nick Smith, Miller, Leaky Black. And like I said, as far as I'm concerned, TJ, he's on the bench. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna be coming off the bench. I'm looking at TJ right now. So I mean, Charles got his squad. This is gonna be his people. Salute to all y'all in the chat right now. We got Brandon Miller, B Millie. He is live and direct. Getting ready for his next year. I mean, it's a big year. You heard what LaMelo said. It's gonna be a big summer for Brandon Miller. So let's see. Miller with the third rebound. He got 3 rebounds in less than 2 minutes. I'm monitoring all of that. Don't tell me Miller gonna be all over the glass this year. I don't know. Oh, Miller was with a 3-ball, cash. He's shooting 100%. First shot, money. The 7-zip right now, Charlotte. So I'm telling you, Miller looking like he done been here and done that. They might have to pull his ass out the game. They need to give it right back to him. He was just playing USA basketball. He might put a. Oh, don't tell me about it. I must say if he would have did that, Leaky Black, he missed it. I'm telling you right now, all eyes on the Hornets. The Hornets probably got the best player in the summer league right now, Nick Smith Jr. See, Nick just missed a goddamn floater, and it was air ball. That wasn't good. Oh my goodness. I thought Miller was gonna block. Dex, I'm seeing a lot of different things from Brandon Miller right now. He pause. I don't want to say that he's longer, pause, but he's definitely taking getting rebounds, and I seen him go up for a block shot. I'm like, well, I didn't see all this last year. That you're gonna be on the glass and blocking shots. I'm looking at this. Good.
Yes, Mike, that's good
We got to
observation
break
because
in the action.
last season,
You slightly breaking up a little bit. But the Hornets, yeah. We got Brandon Miller with the ball right now. Brandon Miller with a screen. Oh, Miller putting the moves on. Brandon Miller top of the key in the mid range. Miller just traveled. It looked like he lost his footing. So Miller turns it over. It's 7-3 right now. 7:04 to go in the first. Brandon Miller hit his first three ball. He's got 3 rebounds. He nearly got a block. So he's looking like he's gonna be bringing his winning ways to the Queen City. You better look the hell out.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Can you hear me now, Mike? Check.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, like to answer your question is that Brandon Miller started off the season last year as a rookie, a little timid, and then he put it both 10 toes on the ground and he just took off with jettison, right? And ascended to the third best rookie in his draft class. This season, I think Brandon Miller is still a little more comfortable. Him and Charles Lee have a solid relationship. The organization is behind Brandon Miller, and I think his confidence is going to soar to another level, and it's going to reflect in the stat sheet.
Yeah, me too. The Knicks right now they're down to 7-3. The Hornets is in control. You do have it was Jacob Toppin, the brother of Obi Toppin. So he's one of the notable guys for the Knicks to keep an eye on. Obviously the Hornets, they got all kind of notable guys to keep eyes on. When you're discussing, obviously last year's second overall pick in Brandon Miller, obviously last year, in Nick Smith Jr., Leaky Black. You got the 6th overall pick, TJ Saloon, making his debut tonight. So it's all eyes and antennas on the Hornets today. Here come the New York Knicks. You got Toppin with the ball with the screen. Here come Toppin, and he makes a floater. He cuts the lead to 2. It's 7-5 Charlotte. Here come Nick Smith Jr., crossing half court. He gives it to Miller. They kick it out to Steffens. Here come the Charlotte Hornets. Miller's not involved in the play, but good play right there by the point guard, number 37. That was a strong move to the bucket. Here come the New York Knicks. I'm seeing Nick Smith Jr. playing defense. So I see that's something big that Charles Lee is preaching. I see better. Oh, good steal right there by the Hornets. Here come Nick Smith pushing it with pace. Nick Smith Jr. I'm looking at his development. They kick it to Leaky Black. Leaky Black gives it to number 37. I got to get his name. Leaky Black for 3. Cash. It's 12-5. Don't tell me this kid Leaky Black turning into something under Charles Lee. Don't tell me this. Oh, don't tell me this. And I wonder, is Charles Lee out there? I wonder if Charles Lee's even coaching. I don't know why. We got here come the Hornets. It's 12-8. Here come Brandon Miller. Perfect right now from the field. Brandon Miller. Good pass. Nick Smith Jr. Leaky Black for 3. He missed it. He could have gave one more to Miller. Miller was gonna make that. Here comes the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks all the way to the cup. And they missed it. Here comes the Charlotte Hornets. Brandon Miller. Point forward is in effect. And we got a timeout by the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, I like the activity that I'm seeing from Brandon Miller early on. I just hope he's able to sustain it throughout the game because I know the Knicks is going to come. The Knicks take pride in their level of competition they bring to the NBA, whether it's summer league, preseason, or the regular season or the extended season. The Knicks just play hard. That's just part of the atmosphere of the New York Knicks. And congratulations to the New York Knicks' newest extension signee, Jalen Brunson, for signing that big money contract that he just received in this offseason. Like,
Yeah, shout out to the New York Knicks, man. They're clearly on a different spectrum from the Hornets. It's actually funny that they playing each other in the summer league because I'm on record of saying the Knicks was just here where the Charlotte Hornets are dealing with, in terms of their team and everything, what they need to do, this and that, So I mean, there's definitely hope. But like, shout out to Brunson. I mean, he took less money on the deal too, so the Knicks is gonna have a cap space to bring in another top level free agent. So I mean, the Knicks, that move right there could be very significant because they could be bringing in another superstar to the Knicks to add to this. That's what Brunson has done. With this contract, he literally took over $100 million less. That's unheard of. So it's clearly he looking to bring a championship to New York, and that may be the domino that does it. That who knows? That very move could be the domino why the New York Knicks finally win a championship for New York City. Remember, I said that was a big pickup. Speaking of New York Knicks, they got Mikal Bridges. I'm very high on him. He played 82 games last season. He's an Iron Man. So we know what you're getting out of Mikal. But now he playing with Tibbs, so we don't know with that if he gonna play all 82 games messing with Tibbs. But we back with it. Here come Brandon Miller, B. Millie. In effect, it's 12-8 right now. Charlotte. There's 4:40 to go in the first. Here come Nick Smith all the way to the cup, and he scores it. He could have got fouled right there. It's 14-8 Charlotte. Good play right there from the Charlotte Hornets, man. They balling. Salute to all y'all in the chat. Here come the New York Knicks. We got Toppin with the ball. They kick it out to Kolek, back to Toppin for the New York Knicks. Good defense right there by Charlotte. Oh, good block. The Hornets with a big time block. It's 14-8 right now, 4:12 to go. Good. I love the energy about Brandon Miller. He looked like he is fully under control. Mikal Bridges is on his court side right there for the New York Knicks. Shout out to my man Mikal. You see what's going on. You don't know what the Knicks might be in the finals next year, God damn it. It's 4:10 right now. Yep. The Nova Knicks. They won a national championship in college, looking to make history now for New York City. It could happen. Here comes Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller for three. He missed it. So he's one and one. So he missed the three ball right there. Look, he looked like he forced it right there, in my opinion. He could have let the game come to him, but it looked like he wanted to let that three go. Let's see. I'm waiting on the rookie, T-Jan Saloon. When will he check in? We will keep you posted. Here comes the New York Knicks. They kick a three ball off. We got a loose ball foul. 14-8 right now, Charlotte. Salute to all y'all in the chat.
Yeah, Charlotte's holding on to a 4-point lead. Not too much of an advantage. But, right, I just want to bring a point up to you that the way they handled Brandon Miller last season, they don't seem to have that kind of enthusiasm towards Keyshawn.
Well, yeah, you're right. I think TJ I think he had an injury or something like that, or he was coming off of an extended season. So it's something they're being careful with him. So I think that's what I heard, if I'm not mistaken. Miller with another rebound. I think that's 4 rebounds for Brandon Miller. I'm watching all these things. Oh, Nick Smith. Oh, Nick Smith with the moves. He missed it. Nick's with it. Yeah, so we're gonna find out. But T-Jan was drafted high. I'm waiting for him to actually get in the game if he does. Oh, they called Miller with a char. I mean, with a block. Oh, come on, you gotta give Miller that charge. And that was a block. I mean, he looked like he was moving. Miller got in. Miller did sacrifice his body right there in that possession. Miller playing well. It's good to see Brandon Miller. 14-8. We got Summer League Miller. Charlotte Hornets basketball is back, goddammit. Here come Toppin for 3. He missed it. Rebounded by Brandon Miller. That got to be 5 rebounds from Miller. Brandon Miller to Nick Smith has it. What Nick Smith gonna do with it? You gotta get aggressive, Nick. Nick Smith, he made it. Turn around mid range, 16-8. Yeah, Nick Smith gotta do something. He's showing good promise. Oh, I think we're about to see the big fella. We're about to see the rookie. T-Jan is coming in the game. Look, but we're going to a commercial break first. But T-Jan was on his way to the scores desk. It's 16-8 Charlotte. You know, Miller is playing well. You know, if you want to know, it's about to go down. And also, we're going to get a look at the rookie, the 6th overall pick, T-Jan Salon. Let's see if they're going to put him on the floor with Miller. Is he going to play with Nick Smith? Because all that's going to be key. But nonetheless, man, we got Hornets basketball. B. Millie is back, goddammit. You know, fresh off of USA basketball, coming to put his hands, you know, and fingerprints on the NBA Summer League. You know, you remember what happened last year. You know, goddammit, he trying to change shit. You know, it's time for the Charlotte Hornets to get back to their rightful position in this league. And it starts here. You can't skip steps. What's the deal, Dax?
Yeah, well, we're on official timeout. I just wanted you to know, did you see the crowd that had assembled for the Los Angeles Lakers and the Houston Rockets initial launch to the Summer League in Vegas? And then after the game, the difference in crowd participation once Bronny was off the court.
Well, I did see that game. I did see the Houston game. I thought that was a good game. Also, I mean, like I said, it's a tough call. I mean, Brownie obviously is a box office attraction. I mean, the name itself. So I'm not surprised by that. I mean, we still in this AAU, you know, level, you know, situation. So Brownie was big on Baller's Life and all this other stuff. So with the summer league is damn near becoming like something like that, you know. And you know, you're gonna see people show up for Brownie. You know, Vegas, LA. That's a quick trip. You know, so I'm not surprised. You know, at all. But we back with it. You know, let's see. Let me see who's out there on the floor right now. T-Jan is out there. It looked like that Miller's out. I wanted to see how he played with Miller, but Nick Smith is in there. Nick Smith all the way to the cup. Nick Smith running back on defense. T-Jan is in the game, number 31. Oh, good block by the Hornets. I don't know who the hell that kid is. Here come Nick Smith. They kick it out for 3. Cash. Yo, the Hornets ain't playing. They got a good little young squad. They holding the Knicks to 8. This is the best summer league. I've seen several, you know, watching these Hornets. This is the best outing. Oh, another steal. Here come Nick Smith. Nick Smith for 3. Oh, he missed it. I want to see some pick and roll with Nick Smith and the kid's Salon. That's what you need to do. But it's 21-8. We got a buck 45 to go, 146, and we got to stop and play. T-Jan Salon is in the game, 6'9", 18 from France. First season in the league. You already know what it is. Salute to all y'all in the chat. We got a new member of the Charlotte Hornets. What is he going to bring to the table? I want to see if he can shoot. I want to see what's going to happen. The 6th overall pick, 2024 NBA draft. Here come the New York Knicks. The Knicks, they lose it. T-Jan, point forward. Good pass. Here come the Knicks. The Knicks pushing the ball up the floor. They still can't score. They're having a hard time. But they get one to go right there. It's 21-10. 1:22 to go in the first quarter. Here come the Charlotte Hornets. T-Jan is in the game. He's on the corner 3. They kick it to T-Jan. T-Jan put the moves on in the post. He couldn't score it. Good play. The Hornets, the other guys are balling. They're gonna have a good G League team now. I'm seeing better players. They're shooting 50% from the field. The Knicks shooting 25%. Whatever message they preaching in Charlotte is taking effect in the summer. T-Jan couldn't get the rebound. It's 23-12. Hornets up 11. Knicks get a quick, cheap foul. Fast clock going. They got this kid named Morgan, a point guard named Morgan in the game doing this thing. Hornets playing well. Summer League basketball. Brandon Miller is in the game. Well, not in the game, but he is playing. He did put up 3 points. He got a bunch of rebounds. He's showing potential. He ain't really forcing it. That's what I want to see too. Here come the New York Knicks. They miss it. Here comes Charlotte. They should get the last shot. You got 14, 13, 12, 10. Here comes the Hornets. What are they going to do with it? Morgan, mid-range jumper. He missed it. Rebounded by the Knicks. And we are ending the first quarter, 23-12. So the Charlotte Hornets is, in control of this game, in my opinion. I love what I'm seeing, from this young core. This is the best I've seen from the young core so far. They're actually playing like they want to be here, and they're playing with some promise. They're playing like they have a future. What you think about this, Dex?
Yeah, the first quarter was very exciting for Charlotte. Their energy was unmatched. The New York Knicks was able to shoot a deplorable 26% from the floor, taking 19 shots and only making 5. So good defense for Charlotte, good energy, good moving around, get into your spaces. Charlotte is not shooting that well from 3. From the distance, they're 3 of 10, so that's only 30%. So they got to get that up. But they are not allowing their opponents to outshoot them from the distance because New York is shooting at 16%. So good perimeter defense from the Charlotte Hornets. The rebound area is about even, and the assists from the Charlotte Hornets, which we want to see. They had 6 assists in the first quarter flight. That is very good for this Charlotte Hornets team. Measuring it against those teams from the past where nobody wanted to pass the ball. It was all isolation ball, get it how you live, and it was terrible, and it was unable to capture a victory in 2 years in the Summer League. So this year, they're being more active and more sharing with the ball. 3 steals, excellent playing the passing lanes and one-on-one defense, mano-a-mano, 2 blocks, New York none, and only 1 turnover flight. Could you imagine that? Remember the days of DJ Carton, Book Night,
Lord.
the other McCarron, and all those other guys that was all over the ball. Kai Jones, that was all over the ball, and the Charlotte Hornets led the Summer League in turnovers in 2 years running with those cats. But this year, that's not the case. Coach Lee got them in formation, and these guys are putting on a good clinic for young players to mimic.
Yeah, good call. I was just looking at Brandon Miller, Leaky Black, and Nick Smith. They were kind of together, sharing a laugh. It seems like the camaraderie is different as well. Miller was the second leading scorer out of the rookies. He scored more points, than Chet Holmgren. I think he averaged 17 points, and Wemby averaged 21, and I think Chet
Mhm.
16. They just showed the stat line. So Miller obviously got lost in that shuffle because of the names and Charlotte, and but I think that Miller's he gonna be in that party as years to come.
Yeah, Charlotte come out aggressive, getting the foul and getting to the free throw line. That's another plus. Anytime you come off of a timeout, it's called ATO after timeout, and how your team do on a defensive rating and offensive rating in this summer league. The Charlotte Hornets have been one of the top teams coming out of the ATO flight.
Yep, good call on that. It's 25-12. TJ and Salon, he hasn't done anything yet either. He didn't do anything. I don't think he got a rebound. So we waiting to see what's going on with him. Here come the Charlotte Hornets. TJ has it. Oh, TJ, three ball. Oh, he missed it. That was the first shot that he actually attempted. So we got to look at TJ.
I don't like that. See, that's the type of shit that disturbs me. That your first shot is going to be a 26 footer. Really? Come on, man. Don't please don't do that. Now I see why they hesitant to bringing you into the game and why you stay so long on the bench before you enter, because that's your mindset. You want to be Wimby. You want to be Tony Parker. Who you want to be?
All right, well, let's see now. He in the post now. Oh, no, he kicked it out. I mean, yeah, these dudes are 6'9". They got a lot of size. Pause. They need to be in the paint. He missed it. But let's give him a
If
chance.
not in the paint, at least close to it. You know what I'm saying? At least for
Yeah.
your first shot of the game. When I was playing basketball, they always say get closer to the basket as you can. So that way, if you make it, you see the shot go in. Now you give me more confidence. But if you're shooting from the distance, which is the most difficult shot to shoot, right? The dunk is the easiest, the layup is the second, and then you got the mid range, and then you got the distance. So you're going to shoot the most difficult shot in a game for your first shot of the game. I don't like that.
All right, man. That's how it is in today's game. For whatever reason, that's just how it is.
Well, you got to remember now he's a European, so he should be fundamentally sound. Now, if he was an American player, okay, I expect that, right? All for the gram. But a European player, I don't expect that. I expect him to be more disciplined and more placed.
Yeah, somebody said Melo he was trash last year, good in the regular season. Melo's on his way. He had to score his desk. So let's see if he's gonna play on the floor with Salon. Hopefully they don't take Salon out for him. I want to see how they play alongside of each other. Um, but yeah, you're right about that, man, Dex. Like I said, when I was coming up, LeBron was the guy going to the cup. A lot of times people was, driving, to the lane, But in today's league, you know, every today's young kids they want to shoot threes. What they want to do. You
I
know,
don't mind because Steph Curry have changed the dynamic of the game and the way you approach it. I don't mind you shooting threes, but not your first shot flight. You follow what I'm saying? This is Vegas, baby. All lights are on you. The neon lights are flashing. Charlotte Hornets new iteration under the auspice of Jeff Peterson and being dictated by Coach Lee. Okay, show some respect. Get closer to the basket and make your first shot, or at least show respect.
right? They got the kid Tyler Kolek. He was 20, 23, Big East Player of the Year. He playing for the Knicks. He on the floor right now. So it's 27-14. Miller is on the floor right now with TJ. So we're gonna get a good look at these two who I believe
Ooh!
might
Oh
be
my God.
you might be ahead of me. What happened? Something with Miller?
Miller from the distance.
Oh yeah, I see Miller right there walking into the three. Yep, I just saw it. It's Miller three ball cash. It's 30-16. 7:05 to go. I got 7 minutes. Here come Tyler Kolek. Oh, three ball by the Knicks. Knicks playing well. So the Hornets they down 9. So I think Miller is 2 for 3 because he did miss one three ball. I like what I'm seeing from Miller though. He look like, oh, don't tell me he's gonna do this again, Dax. Oh, I'm about to say, okay, so he 2 or 4. You clearly see what kind of time he on, you know. So he just got to work on his efficiency, you know. He playing, his confidence is on 150. I'm just looking at him. They had to throw the Hornets in there, 21-61. So Brooklyn was 32-50. Atlanta was 36-46, and they was the 10th seed. And the Hornets, they were 21-61. So they got a long way to go to get to that picture. You know, there's a long way to go. They got can the Hornets get 10-15 plus wins this year? That's gonna be key. I'm telling you, if LaMelo was healthy, they got to punch his chance. So it's T.J. Miles and Miller gonna be launching threes.
I think if LaMelo's healthy, they got more than a puncher's chance. I think a healthy LaMelo with this iteration of the Charlotte Hornets under the auspice of Jeff Peterson, I think they're a shoe-in for at least an 8 seed. And if everybody plays up to par, they could be part of the bottom tier of playoff picture.
Yep. They called Miller for a damn offensive foul. It's 30-19. Well, it's Charles. Charles not even coaching. Charles, that was Charles. He's there though, but he's not coaching the team.
Yeah, and James have put in the chat that Charles only coached the California Classic, and assistant coach is going to coach from here on out.
That's nice. But he there hands on.
Right,
That's why I say he just empowering his assistant. But he's there
exactly.
working with Miller and them.
Right, but like I said, that's a good look on the optics side that he chose to coach the California Classic because he wanted hands-on and he wanted his fingerprints to be on the Charlotte Hornets as his inaugural season approaches, that he can show them and will them to victory, and he did in the California Classic.
Yeah, I mean, if he was egotistical, he would have just came to Vegas and coached the real team and said, "Screw the California Classic." If that's what he do.
Yep.
He coached the lesser talent. Now Miller, fresh off USA basketball, now Salon playing. He gonna take a step back. I mean, that's gonna go a long way. Here goes for the Hornets. So that's a good play. Here come Tyler Coling.
And your players respect you, Frank. Your
Yeah,
players really respect you. You're going to come down off your high horse and coach us in an exposition. That's big for camaraderie amongst you and your players.
yeah. Charles Lee sitting right there. I'm looking. They got a
Yeah,
camera
unlike
right
that
on.
old bullshit that JJ Redick did. He's too good to coach summer league. So
Yeah,
condescending.
he should have coached the game, at least a game or two. I mean, that's what you ain't got to do the whole thing, but damn, at least coach one game. But you are right though. You were talking about he didn't want no criticism. Imagine he coached and they lose. Which probably was going to happen. You feel
Yep,
me?
yep,
Look.
yep, yep. But that shows that he got thin skin, right?
Yeah.
So I just thought that was very despicable for JJ Redick, being a coach of a high profile team, that he missed the opportunity to show good optics and good faith coaching Bronny and Dalton Connect.
Yeah. Shout out to Kid Dalton, man, and Brownie. They doing their thing. You know, but you know what time it is, man. It's Hornets basketball. It's a big upcoming year. It's Miller time. So I like what I'm seeing so far from Miller. I think Miller wish he came out and had a perfect game, the swagger that he out there showing. But the three balls that I'm seeing, the rebound and the athleticism, I think it's gonna go a long way into his second season. He's gonna be the second best player on the Charlotte Hornets. Probably that go-to scorer. That I think he might average more points than LaMelo. Might. Which I think eventually he should. He should be that guy to average more than Melo. Melo feeding him and empowering Miller. So hopefully we see a 25, 27 point, average from Miller. playing with LaMelo, you're gonna get them easy shots. Miller back in the game. It's Salon not in the game. Miller. Oh, they got Charles Lee on the thing. So I'm gonna listen to what the fuck he's saying. Charles Lee talking on commentary. Miller for 3. He missed it. He talking about how he was preparing for his championship run and preparing the staff at the same time. It's good to see Charles Lee, the respect he got around the league. Here comes Charlotte. It's 30-25. I want to hear what he got to say about Miller. Horns just turned it over. So they talked to him about that. So he actually, what he did say is they had to have a conversation with him about summer league. Yeah, shout out, stay up. Yeah. Shout out, man. The Way Show. Make sure all y'all go follow the Way Show. They got so many episodes now that it's taking a life of its own. Don't miss no episodes of the Way Show. Brandon Miller, 17 points per game, 32.2 minutes, per game shot, 44% from the field, 37% from 3, 4 rebounds. I think the rebound numbers gonna go up, especially after what I seen. It look like he about to talk about LaMelo. I want to hear what he got to say. So Charles Lee said he want Miller to shoot less mid range and more threes. He said LaMelo's focused on trying to be healthy this year. LaMelo's motivated to focus on his body this off season. They're trying to get Mark Williams healthy. He said that he's another guy who could change things on both ends of the floor. Oh, good. It was that topic. We got Miller 3-ball. Cash. It's 36-27. Miller just made a 3. The 3-ball by the Knicks. Goddamn, Knicks starting to turn it on. This might be a game for the Hornets if they fucking around. This is the first game with Lee not actually coaching. Nick Smith for 3. Cash. Good play by Nick Smith Jr. I'm telling you, Nick Smith looking like something. I'm trying to listen to some of the things Charles Lee's saying. They revamped their training style. Here come the New York Knicks. So he was a part of 2 championships, Milwaukee and Boston.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
think the Milwaukee championship was more on the onus of Darvin Ham and Bud more so than Charles. But Charles was a main ingredient to the Boston championship.
right. Well, he was there. He was there for both
Yeah,
chips. I mean,
yeah, he was
yeah,
there, but he was more integral in the Boston one. But
right.
whereas Darvin Ham from Milwaukee was what Charles Lee was for Boston.
He was
Put
the
it
lead
that way.
assistant.
Yes.
Right.
So it's kind of a difference, you know what I'm saying? Even though he was there, his input was minimal, but with Boston, his input was maximum.
Nah, I know. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he was the lead assistant for Boston, and like I said, Milwaukee. You said I think Ham was. So you got a good point. Did you have any takeaways from what Charles was saying?
Listen, I love what Charles is saying. I'm starting to like him more and more because he's not a blabbermouth. And I was at the BTW with Chief, and I was just in the chat. Of course, nobody really graced the panel there, but I was in the chat, and I was sharing with Chief some inside information about LaMelo Ball. And now Charles Lee, if Chief is listening or watching the game, I'm quite sure he's doing one or the two. I've been verified. I've been what you call that? Damn, that word escaped me. But basically, I've been verified because he just repeated the exact same thing I was sharing at the BTW about LaMelo and his off-season theatrics. Whereas LaMelo is trying to play sneaky deaky. I'm just gonna tell you like this: LaMelo is working out hard as fuck, but he's trying to make it appear that to his ops that he just focusing on branding and getting his brand off the ground and money and Puma and stuff like that, the off court stuff. But LaMelo is training very hard and vigorous on his body. Now he might have slowed down now, but at one point he was all in. You know what I'm saying? He was all in like Freeway Rick was in the crack era. So big ups to LaMelo. He's getting stronger. I even had got word that he's stronger than ever now. This is coming out of his camp. He is stronger than ever now, and he's ready. They didn't say too much because they know I'm a blabbermouth. Whatever you tell me, I'm gonna tell it. I always tell them that. Whatever you tell me, I'm gonna tell it. So if it's a secret, don't tell me. But if you tell me, that means it's a go. So I don't think he appreciates all of the hype surrounding his draft class, and his name is not mentioned up top upon the upper tier. Yeah, this is what perturbs LaMelo Ball right now. So this is a motivation for him to get deep into his workout and remain healthy and be sustainable for the duration of the season. Melo was known to say that last season was a wash because that 260 wasn't affected by his appearance or non-appearance last season. But now that 260 kicks in. So whatever he's done in the past, okay, that was part of the rookie stuff, right? But now that rookie extension kicks in this season, you're going to see a version of LaMelo that people are going to be constantly saying, ooh, oh. Like,
My bad. Good call on that. We headed to commercial break. Good, good synopsis on things there. So I mean, only time will tell, Dex. But we know what kind of year this is. Let's see what Charles Lee clearly is more promising than what we got from the previous regime. Can we all agree on that?
I believe that the interest of the offseason has taken on a whole new entity under the auspice of Jeff Peterson. So JP has instilled and it has resonated throughout the corridors of the Spectrum Center and the Charlotte Hornets organization that we mean business, right? Let's take care of business, then we can play. Instead of them being opposite during those last 4 years where they wanted to play and then take care of business. So they want to get back to the days where there was something to watch out for. They want to get back to the days where these mega media conglomerates put them up there with the best of the teams so they can be on display more than one or two times a game. And listen, now when Lonzo come back, this LaMelo Ball rivalry and the Lonzo Ball rivalry will rear its ugly head once again. And all the Lonzo Ball fans are going to come out the closet because a lot of them are locked themselves in the closet or switched over to Anthony Miller or Tyrese Halliburton. They're going to shift back to Lonzo, and this childhood rivalry or sibling rivalry will rear its ugly head and will be a backstory in the NBA come this season.
You had a good call on that. Shout out autism, pardon me. Um, yeah, listen, LaMelo Ball healthy. Everybody's gonna have to come pay homage. This has been a crazy off season. If you've been a LaMelo fan, a Hornets fan, because they praising everybody. We got to remember who actually won Rookie of the Year. Of that class. So we see two guys in USA basketball and this, that, and the third, and we all know who's supposed to be there, but we know health got in the way and this and that. So it's been very troubling and unfortunate. You know, it's crazy. You are right about that. A lot of the stuff that Melo, because if you just naked eye, you look at LaMelo, you see the lifestyle shoe from Puma. You see that Melo just with a big time putback, 47-38. So it may. Oh, what the hell just happened? Oh man, they done Hornets fouling and shit. But to the naked eye, it may look like Melo's not focused, but real Melo fans know that basketball is number one, and all of them, and Lonzo too. It seems like it's one big throw off. That's going on. Because if you just look, it looked like Lonzo is focusing on life after basketball, and it looks like LaMelo is just up in his GQ value. So I mean, but if you look at, you see Lonzo with Chris Johnson. If you're really looking, you see Lonzo in the gym. If you looking for that kind of stuff, unless you just want to go with status quo shit. And then we heard live here from Charles on what LaMelo was focused on and what is his real shit and things that he's on. So, just like I said, wait till the season kick around. That's all I could tell you. I think this is the year. I ain't saying they're gonna win no championship or nothing, but this is gonna be the year. We're in the middle of halftime. You know, Dex, man. Let everybody know what you think of this first half. The optimism of this young core, the future of Brandon Miller, Charles. This was a big time first half. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, for the first half of this game flight, like I said earlier, and I'm continue to say the energy level of the Charlotte Hornets is unmatched. The New York Knicks cannot find or wiggle their way out of a paper bag. It seemed like the swarm of the Charlotte Hornets have put the New York Knicks in a labyrinth, and they are not able to see their way out of this complex maze. And I hope this continues to keep going because what it have shown me, Flight, is that Jeff Peterson wants business, and he wants business now. He don't want you to be a folly. He don't want you to be afraid. He don't want you to be timid. He wants you to handle business because they bleed like, when I'm speaking about they, is the opposite team bleed just like they bleed, and they put one leg in at a time. Like, so when it comes to individual activity, I'm liking what Brandon Miller's doing. I'm liking what Nick Smith Jr. is doing. You already know Nick Smith Jr. is going to be an ever ready bunny, right? He's going to keep going and going and going. You're going to have to lock him up to slow him down. Outside of that, he has that ever ready bunny energy when he's out there on the court. Now, what I do want to see more of in this game coming the second half is ball distribution. I think ball distribution is very prevalent when it comes to young teams out here trying to make a name for themselves. The New York Knicks have definitely closed the gap. I like with what's the boy name for the New York Knicks? Oh my God, what's that kid name? Hold on.
Kolick.
No. Toppin. Excuse me, Toppin. I like what Toppin is doing for the New York Knicks. He's not doing like a whole bunch of nothing, but he is playing within the confines of his game. And that right there, you have to respect. And when you see players play within the confines of their game, you know that they're going to grasp the game and process it at a high level. So with that said, the New York Knicks have closed the gap substantially, and now they're entering halftime under 10 points, but most teams wants to do if they're behind. They want to be within striking distance come the third quarter. And let's see what kind of adjustments the Hornets make, because they did allow New York Knicks to creep back into this game to make it look more competitive than it should, and how they adjust and make any kind of traps and blitz on defense. What kind of pin downs they're going to come off of, what type of pick and rolls is going to be used in those combinations. What about the DHO, right? The dribble handoff. Who's going to be involved in that? Let's see how this coach of the Charlotte Hornets plays the players in a winning situation fight.
Right, good call on that, Dex. I also heard you talk about a lot of players, but what you think about Nick Smith Jr. and the evolution of his career?
Well, I think the jury is still out on Nick Smith Jr., right? I mean, we already know he's an ever ready bunny. He's very energetic, but can he control it, right? Can he encapsulate this energy and focus it to a narrow target, and that way he won't be so erratic, so up and down with his game. If Nick Smith Jr., with the talent and speed and heart that he has, if he can keep his game within the guidelines of Charles Lee, I think he will be a very successful coming off the bench role player.
What's going on with LaMelo Ball? How's he gonna fit with these guys? How far can he take this current regime of the Hornets? With young guys that want to be here, veteran leaders. What do you think is the ceiling?
Well, listen, LaMelo Ball is a plug-and-play player. Okay, we know this, right? LaMelo Ball can play on any team with any player, no matter what. LaMelo Ball is good enough to play on the dream team of 1982. You take Christian Laettner off that team and insert LaMelo Ball, they would beat teams by 80 points or more, right? Because LaMelo Ball can distribute that ball and give passes to these Hall of Fame caliber type players in ways that we have never seen before. Now, what would he do with these caliber players? I think LaMelo Ball will enhance them if they're willing to get on the train and take that ride and don't be a disruptor, right? If they can fall in line under the dictates of Charles Lee, because Charles Lee going to have them in a auspicious type situations night in and night out, where free throws will determine who will win the game. I think the Charlotte Hornets, right with Cleveland, Charlotte Hornets and Cleveland Cavaliers would probably be the two most teams to lose games by the narrowest of margins. That's what I think that Charles Lee is going to bring to this Charlotte Hornets team. He's going to make them more gritty. He's going to have them put their elbows in other people's chests and have them put their egos aside for the betterment of the team. LaMelo Ball got the green light regardless. Brandon Miller will be reined in a little bit, but I think the lease will be extended for Brandon Miller. Now you got Miles Bridges trying to recoup last season, right? Because last season was a failure compared to Miles Bridges, right? That was an absolute failure, especially when he was trying to garner a new contract and show the league contrition of what he did in the offseason that caused him to lose the bag initially. So Miles Bridges was on a redeem and revenge factor in his journey last season, and Charlotte Hornets could not get into the extended season. So he was upset about that. Brandon Miller was upset about that. LaMelo Ball felt a little blame and regret about that, second guessing should he wear the braces or not, which I was told he was supposed to be wearing the braces. And then come to find out he wasn't wearing the braces. He only wore them during a few practices, and that was it. But this season, like I said, the camp say he is stronger than ever. So that means that LaMelo was doing a lot of water work for building up strength in his lower extremity. Something that Big Baller had been preaching for the longest of times. But sometimes you get a little stiff-necked and rebellious, and your game, you was Rookie of the Year, and you was All-Star your second year, you tend to forget what got you there. And what got them there was constant hard work, constantly working on their game, and there was no room for relaxation and no room for underestimating your skill set.
Not that. Like I said, they're out of the Michael Jordan era too, so he's definitely coming to Charlotte. You know,
Well, I don't think that had to do anything with the Michael Jordan era. I think LaMelo Ball physical durability had nothing to do with the Michael Jordan era, because that's something you do anyway as a professional athlete. You know, you take care of your body. You know, you try to eat right, you sleep right, and constantly work on new aspects of your game. But since LaMelo Ball came in breaking records, he probably felt his game was sufficient until he received those injuries. Once you start seeing those injuries, then you got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, what can I do to improve, not only on the court, but what can I improve off the court that allow me to stay on the court? Like,
yeah, good call. Good call. Yo, Dex, can you hold me down for like 90 seconds, bro? I'm coming right back on the mic.
it's still halftime, right?
Well, we 1 minute into the game, but I'm.
Oh, okay.
Let's see there.
Yeah, so what we got now is we want to thank Flight for his play-by-play action, and thank Flight for the stream as he powers it from behind. Brandon Miller missed a 25-foot three-point jump shot, and Ariel received a defensive rebound. Xavier Simpson personal foul, turnover, New York Knicks. So the Charlotte Hornet has another opportunity given to them, gifted to them by the New York Knicks being a little reckless with the basketball. So Xavier Simpson missed a driving layup. Tyler gets the defensive rebound. Jacob Toppin go to the rack. No, he misses. The score remains 47-40. So there has been nobody teetering on the balance of destruction nor of running away with this game. Pacome gets the offensive rebound, so the Knicks has the second opportunity to make a first impression. There has been no score in the third quarter to this point. 47-40, Charlotte Hornets is up. The New York Knicks is looking to try to make a dent into the lead and probably have Charlotte Hornets call a timeout. That's undeserving. Leaky Black with the defensive rebound. Nick Smith missed from the distance. No! Tyler gets the rebound. And the Knicks is off and running. And the Knicks try. Oh, it's a foul. So it'll be 2 free throws. Those two free throws are made. Nick Smith Jr., the ever ready buddy, makes a 7-foot driving floating layup. Nice floater for Nick Smith Jr. That's another thing we can watch with Nick Smith implementing that into his game. Dwayne Washington makes a 14-footer. Brandon Miller from the distance, 23-foot jump shot. Yes, it's good. Nick Smith was a part of that with the assist. So the combination of Nick Smith Jr. and Brandon Miller puts the New York Knicks up by 7 once again. The Charlotte Hornets up by 7 once again as the New York Knicks is trying to creep back into the game and make it a little more competitive. And yes, they do. Ariel puts in a 4-foot shot. Brandon Miller misses a driving layup. Jacob Toppin with the defensive rebound. Here come your New York Knicks. What the Knickerbockers going to do? Dwayne Washington pulls up and missed. So he missed that one. Knicks with the offensive rebound. So Knicks are trying to covet the restricted area on the offensive side.
What you? Can you hear me?
And then here comes Light. Yes, sir.
I'm back with you. It's 52-45. 7:15 to go. Right now, baseline floater. He missed it. Here come the New York Knicks. It's 7 minutes and change to go. Here come the Knicks. Knicks trying to make this a game. You would have thought the Hornets would have ran away with this thing, but it don't seem like that's the case. God damn it! Shout out to Charlotte. We back with it. We coming off of halftime. Brandon Miller out there hitting everything. So, you should see what's going on. I'm looking at Mark Williams. Also, I seen KJ Simpson sitting next to Coach Charles Lee. So I see a lot of Hornets, around. Brandon Miller got 14 points. He's shooting 4-8, from the field. So that's a good stat line right there. Here come Nick Smith with it. B. Millie. Brandon Miller in mid-range. Brandon Miller, mid-range, cash. Oh, he's starting to turn it on now. 54-45. He got Coach Charles Lee shaking his head now. Here come Brandon Miller. Don't tell me he coming out with the second half aggressiveness. Or he stepped out of bounds. Next, he got a little too overzealous right now. We got a good game.
Yeah, the Knicks been kind of reckless with that ball. They got to calm down because Charlotte is allowing them back into the game. All they got to do is hold up to the ball and cut down on these unnecessary and unforced turnovers.
Yeah, what you think? How you think Miller playing? He looking all right, ain't he?
Yeah, this is expected for Miller to be a superior talent out here in his second edition of Summer League because of what he did in the league. So this is a way less superior talent.
Oh my goodness, Dax. This nigga Miller just he done let another 3 go. God damn.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, it's going down now.
Yeah, Miller's trying to show that he's a superior talent.
Yep, he ready to get pulled out of this shit. This is probably gonna be his last game. 19, he's starting to smile now. On first half, he human. You got to get acclimated, get situated. Now he looking fully comfortable now. That's what he gonna be bringing to the Hornets. He ready for prime time. I just can't wait to him and LaMelo. In the second year. Hopefully Melo was healthy because Melo was very upset when the Hornets was losing. A lot of times the Hornets was losing, people didn't give a damn. Miller was pissed. So I think that shows you where they're headed. Dre says Nick trying to get in the rotation. They was playing him a little bit last year, but he probably gonna get a lot more attention this year. They clearing some of the
that was playing Nick due to injury though, Flight. He was gonna wreck due to injury, but we want to see him be a part of the main rotation, not because of injury, but because of talent.
Good call. We're in commercial break right now.
Yeah, it's Miller time, Flight. You know the deal.
Yeah.
Miller's out here showing that he's a superior talent over most.
Yep, and the Knicks are trying to make this a game, don't you see?
Well, I know the Knicks going to come back because I've seen the Knicks play in Summer League before. This was his brother Obi Toppin. Remember when Obi Toppin was in Summer League? You know, his second year, he didn't get summer league his first year because there wasn't no off season because of the pandemic. But that second year, 2001, Obi Toppin was out there just jumping over people, and he shouted out Flight Sports team. So I like Obi's. I like the Obi Toppins. I like Jacob.
Yep. Shout out Jacob Toppin. Shout out Brunson too. 4 years, 156 million. We coming off commercial. Here you go. Knicks at the free throw line. We got Woj. Now they got Woj sitting there talking. What the fuck Woj about to say?
Oh my God, you got Woj in the building, so it gotta be exciting.
Let me turn the TV on. Figure out what he about to say.
Well, Dre makes a good point, Flight. Dre says that Brendan Miller is a dog, straight baller. He's on ESPN also right now. So that might have something to do with it, with Brandon Miller showcasing his high set, his skills, and his high processor.
Why that he would be on ESPN because of the Hornets, the way they don't get no televised games.
Right. So yeah. So a lot of times you know that you're going to be nationally televised. Well, globally, ESPN is global, so global televised. That he's going to show that he's a part of the next tier of conversation when it comes to the future of the NBA. That young, youthful movement that the 2020 draft made sure the NBA is in good hands for the next 10 years.
Yep, good call. Miller just missed a three ball. But it gotta look like it was a foul. Crazy game going on right now. It's 59-46. Go in your room, play. Close the door. Here come was a leak. Nick Smith Jr. on the baseline. Brandon Miller's still out there. Salon ain't really play that much. Yeah, that's one thing I'm noticing. I don't know what's going on with that. Tibbs there. Tibbs there sit next to McCall.
You know how I feel about Tibbs, man. That dude treated me like I was dried up doo doo. It was made it so bad. The Knicks wasn't all that when he was trying to treat me like that. How dare him, like
We back with it. It's 50. It's 4:10 to go in the third quarter. 59-51.
oh shit, Big Al is in the building. Big Al, salute. Where you been, big bro? We miss all the bad takes, man. We need somebody to beat up on, man. Wah 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 wah.
Wow. We got a timeout. Shout out Big Al. The Hornets doing their thing. Miller, I think he got 19. He's starting to turn it on. That's one thing I could say. He's starting to cut it on. Shout out Big Al.
Yeah, Big Al, because you so subjected to the Hornets. It's unreal. They can do no wrong, right? Only person you don't like is Kimber Walker. That's it.
Mm. Well, shout out to all y'all in the chat. What the hell? Shout out my guy Mo in the Cash App. With the $5 Cash App, I want to appreciate your support. You already know what it is. Appreciate you, Mo. Mo's been supporting Flight Sports for a minute too, throughout the years. I appreciate you. Shout out Autism Since I remember that. Dex, what's up? Yeah, man. We got this guy autism. I guess he's gonna hit everybody when he roll in here. Just
Yeah,
there's a,
autism got his break, his shovel,
yeah,
and
we ain't,
his
yeah,
dog.
I'm about to say we ain't gonna be able to do that every day. I'm just like, we'll let it slide today, But I understand you got another channel and all that.
Well, autism should come on the channel and do that
Yeah,
on the
come
panel.
on, yeah, come
That's
on the
that, yeah.
channel, yeah.
Because people don't kind of respect that when you spam the chat like that. Come on the channel and put your content out there, and they can hear from themselves if it's worthy to go to your channel or not.
Because imagine if I just went to somebody's channel and started doing it, I would be getting blocked right now. I know you're rocking with me, and you're. I'm just saying, if I did what you did right now, I'm getting blocked. You don't think I wish I go to Tickets TV and hit everybody in his chat with that shit? I'll be gone in 10 seconds. No, we just got to be respectful, man. It seems like over here at Flight Sports is anything goes. Motherfuckers just doing anything they want to do. There's gonna be consequences for fucking around here, man. I'm just saying all due respect. I appreciate y'all. But it's 59-53. Here comes the New York Knicks. They're trying to make this a game. 3:04 to go in the third quarter. Salute to the Charlotte Hornets. Villanova Knicks, man. I'm telling you, New York Knicks, we going somewhere. Through hella high water, they going. There goes Brandon Miller. Miller in the mid range. He missed it. Oh, Salon. There we go. Salon with the putback.
Okay, he's officially on the board tonight.
Yeah, finally. I was about to say that would have been crazy. He would have went over. That would have been like, what? That would have been something to go at.
Yeah, he can't go over. Not on
Uh-oh.
Flight Sports TV. Been a six
Uh-oh.
pick.
Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, now you're turning it on now.
Who? Stallone,
Yeah.
the French Connection.
Hornets leading scorers. LaMelo with 23.9. He missed 60 games. Miles Bridges 21. That was a career high. Brandon Miller 17.3. Second amongst rookies. So they got a good situation. Good play right there by the Knicks. 64-57. Ward said LaMelo Ball's health is a huge part. They brought in Josh Green. He was a starter in Dallas. You see the makings and the outlines of a team that can sustain itself in the NBA. Right, that's what Woj just said, about the Charlotte Hornets. You are
He
seeing
used that
something
word
out.
sustain, huh?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm trying to let
did he take that from me? What's going on with Wade using my vocabulary?
Adrian Wojnarowski. Shout out Anthony Jefferson. It says they haven't. That is one sign and they ain't announced yet. So somebody says Reggie staying in there. I wonder if there's any rumblings going on because they showed Josh Green. They ain't put out Reggie yet.
I've been trying to tell y'all, don't count Reggie in. I'm telling you right now, don't count him in.
He ain't been introduced. They already introduced Josh Green. Josh Green had his press conference already.
Reggie trying to get the Philly flight. We all know that. Shout out to Anthony Jefferson. We think Reggie trying to get to Philly. He's trying to get to Philly, or he might try to get to Boston. He's going to try to get to one of those two Eastern Conference teams. I don't think he's going to play in the Western Conference anymore. I think the Western Conference is done with Reggie.
Yeah. You're not lying about that.
Could you imagine Reggie going to Philly, coming off the bench?
Wow, I could.
And playing spot minutes with Joel Embiid and Paul George? That's crazy because he's a floor spacer and he's a defender.
Yeah, I could believe
And Reggie knows if he stays in the Charlotte Hornet uniform, that's it for him. Nobody's not going to check for him anymore. His career is over. He's gonna die. He's gonna die in the Queen City, and he knows this. So he's trying to prevent this at all costs. He knows the NBA trying to kill him out for some reason. I don't know what Reggie did, but for some reason, the NBA trying to kill Reggie out. So the only way he can survive is to go to a contender like Carmelo Anthony did. He went to Portland, he went to OKC, and he went to the Lakers, all contenders at the time.
And he's been working in the NBA ever since.
you're right about that.
It's a great story. And it goes to show you, you put the work in.
You're gonna find out. Salute to all y'all in the chat. The 64-61. Salon. That's crazy.
Yeah, New York has definitely have made a game out of this. It's at a 4-point value plus the Charlotte Hornets minus the New York Knicks, but they have definitely came back from the dungeon of this competition to be able to play with the Charlotte Hornets in the attic. Brandon Miller with the rebound. Brandon Miller's name is splattered all over the stat sheet.
Yeah.
As we come to the close in the third quarter, +4 Charlotte Hornets 65-61.
That's a crazy game going on right now. But I'm just listening to what they talking about his rebound. They said Miller could be contributing on the defensive glass. Yeah, it was 4 rebounds. I noticed that from the first quarter that Miller was getting more rebounds. I said, what the hell going on with the rebounds? Is this an emphasis? He got 7 rebounds, 19.7 rebounds.
Okay, there, Austin, you gotta slow down, bro. You gotta slow down, bro.
You talking about autism?
Yeah, autism. He just keep trying to rake the field. You know what I'm saying? Like it's harvest time. But you gotta slow down, bro. People know you in the chat, so just kind of chill. Just engage more in the game. We don't like to direct people how to interact with us. but we're really not a recruiting ground on that level. You know what I'm saying? So just get what you can get, but get more engaged on the chat at least.
No,
Don't
he
just
won't
try
be
to.
able to do it. No, I just put him on timeout for 24 hours. Like I said, it got to be at the end of the day, man. You basically trying to take all my subscribers. That's basically what you're doing. You know what? You could say it politely or whatever you want to do. You in the chat trying to take all my subscribers. You know, so you have to be stopped. I don't give a damn what the hell. I don't go to nobody chat trying to take their subscribers. You know, so like I said, Flight Sports is not a channel where anything goes where you come here and do what the fuck you want. I don't know where you think it's not how it goes. You know, so he got. I gave him a wrench. He asked for the wrench. I gave it to him, and now today he's trying to steal everybody that rolls up in here. You feel me? So
I
now he
mean,
got
he's
a
graced the panel, right?
wrench.
Have you ever graced the panel?
He's never graced the panel. He never graced the
Yeah, you
Cash
he's
App.
graced
He
the
never
panel.
graced the PayPal.
Yeah,
He never graced shit. You know, he
yeah.
gracing the people that are coming out my chat and in the comment section like everybody else does. So, like I said, okay, with all due respect, I was looking. It was throwing me off for a second. I was letting it rock, but then I noticed it was everybody that was coming and he was hitting. You know, so okay, nah, we're gonna slow this down. It is what it is, man. You know, if you do this again tomorrow, you'll just get blocked. You know, so you know it's up to you. I got to tell you the rules since you thinking maybe you could do whatever you want, but
He think it's
nonetheless,
lawless. Huh? He think this is a lawless channel.
yeah, that's why I said this guy thing is open season. I guess he trying to make it sound nice. Well, basically, what he doing is he trying to take all your subscribers, and then what they'll do is they'll start going live. What do you think when you start you taking all my subscribers, and then when you start doing what you do, you could be conflicting with me. You got guys now that's doing that. You got motherfuckers trying to take people off my motherfucking panel. You know, it's just a bunch of dumb shit. You understand? A bunch of dumb shit. You know, it just don't make sense. I don't get this. Motherfuckers just got to be original, man. You can't cheat. You can't cheat hard work, man. And that's the biggest problem. Everybody trying to get the helicopter ride. You know, it don't make sense. Shout out Anthony Jefferson. Everybody want the helicopter. He says, I believe Charlotte Hornets have a chance to take the division. Miami Heat going to take a step back this coming year. Yeah, that's facts. You know, the Heat to me, man, is over. Something going on. You know, I think Jimmy might be on his way out. You know, yeah, we back with it. It's a crazy situation going on right now. You know, shout out to Charlotte Hornets. You know, we headed to the fourth quarter. And let's see what this quarter brings. Shout out Mo, Cam, all y'all in the chat. Anthony Jefferson, man, you got a good take right there. But what I was gonna say about the Heat was, you see the conflict going on with Jimmy. You see the conflict going on with a lot of these other people. You know, so it's a mess. Jimmy Butler, they're gonna trade Jimmy before he wastes away in Miami. He'll be traded and abstracted for something. They're gonna get some value out of Jimmy. You got Jacob talking. Yeah, 67, 63. This game is going on. So it's gonna go down to the wire. I bet people didn't anticipate this. Oh, good play. Well, it's a 2-point game. Charlotte Hornets basketball. You already know what it is. 70-65. I got the legendary Uncle Vern in the house.
What's going on, Flight? Hey, Shotty playing summer league game?
Yeah.
I bet I see.
Yeah, what you think about Brandon Miller?
Man, I'm thinking he did good so far this year. I like the way he played this year. Too bad he didn't get that rookie of the year. What, he finished like third or something?
Shit, I think so. It was third.
Yeah, I figured he was gonna finish something like that. I figured, early part of he going, because I know it was gonna be hard to get him over there. When Biggie out there San Antonio, it was gonna hard to get past him just on popularity alone. But he got good skills. I like him. And I'm glad he working now. So I'm glad he made it to the summer league this year. You understand me? So he can put in work. He got to put in work. Like, that's how you're gonna get better.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people felt like he should have never played, but like I said, I think it was important that he did play, right?
Yeah, for real. I hoped he would have got the chance to go to the Olympic thing, get a little bit of that experience. That'd have been good, if they'd have called his name, that number and stuff, what I'm saying, like that, for the United States. But yeah. But yeah, it's all good. How you been doing, young man?
Yeah, it's going good.
All right.
How we doing? All right. Well, what's going on with yourself? You all right?
Oh yeah, well, what about as well as could be expected? I ain't getting no younger. You understand me? Things are turning out to a certain extent the way I expected them to, and I'm well pleased with that. As far as not just the sports world, but the sports and the personal world. As far as the personal life goes. Yeah. All ain't well, but all is about what could be expected.
Well, I agree with that.
Yeah, I can't complain. I'm not neither. Yeah, but it's all good though, Flight. Yeah, thanks for asking. Yeah.
He's straight.
So, Charlotte winning?
Yeah, narrowly.
Oh, okay. How's Miller doing?
He looking real good.
Yeah, I like that guard they got out of there too last year. That rookie guard they had too. One with the braids. He had with the long braids with the long hair.
Nick Smith.
Yeah, Smith. Yeah, Nick Smith. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Flight. Yeah, I like him. How is he doing so far?
Shit, I think it's Miller doing. You said Miller?
No, Nick Smith. Is he
Oh,
playing?
he doing all right. I mean, like I said, he's showing some promise. I think he's showing the most promise he's shown.
Yeah, okay, that's what I want. Yeah, that's good. That's a good thing. That ain't a bad thing. That's a good thing because he getting opportunity.
Yeah.
With him, it'd be hard for him to get opportunity, especially with that. How you like the way they turned out in the draft? Because you know better than I do how they got their players and how they looking now. How you like way everything unfolded with them in the rookie draft?
Shit. I mean, like I said, I think the rookie draft went all right. I like the kid that they got, Salon. I think he could. I mean, if you just look at him as is, but it's always about how he's gonna look next to LaMelo. So when I'm judging him, I'm judging the new rookie is how is he gonna look playing alongside LaMelo, and I think he's gonna play good.
What he at 6'8", 6'9"?
He's 6'9".
Okay, bet.
He from France. The kid is from France.
Right.
The Hornets, they got a 10-point lead right now.
Okay. Is he playing?
7th. Who?
The guy, your young man you was talking about.
Yeah, he is. He is, but his minutes is like sporadic. Like he ain't really played that many minutes.
Okay.
But I think he got 4 points. I think he got 4 or 5 points, one or the other.
Oh, okay.
I know he had a good putback. He looked all right. I mean, he didn't look Miller looked the best. Miller looked good. He looked the best out of all of the Hornets.
Yeah, he got
everybody on the floor.
Good.
And he didn't really rush it. He missed some shots. I think he wish he could have got back, but he played much better. The pre-show promise. And I don't think no Charlotte Hornet player is above the summer league. The Hornets, they had a horrendous year. everybody has to play well.
No, they got to get work in. They got to get some, especially with Miller, because they got to get used to the NBA game. Especially with the other ones too. Smith, you said they got to get used to the game. They got to get used to the professional game. The only way they're gonna do that is getting playing time, getting experience. You
Yeah,
have good experience sitting on the bench. Like you know better than that,
yeah,
and they know better than that. If anybody know it, they know it. They want some time. It's just like in football. If you only time you're gonna be starting in the football game if you getting reps, right?
that's right.
You getting reps with the first string. I mean, you first string. That's what it is.
The Hornets, they cut off some baggage. They let go of McGowan's. They let go of some people.
Right.
The
Oh,
JT
good.
Ford.
Yeah. Okay, but I don't know about McGuy. I ain't never heard. I ain't never noticed who he was, but I ain't surprised. What he played guard, off
Yeah,
guard.
yeah,
Yeah, I thought so. They ain't got no guards. I wish they gonna get lines up. I wish they work a deal to go get lines up.
yeah. That would be ideal, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I wish they do that, but that's too far fetched. I think you know what I'm saying. For them, huh? Yeah, for real. But then again, you know what I'm saying, there ain't no telling what be happening in 2025, 2026. This Zocon contract gonna be coming up. And there ain't no telling what the Bulls gonna be rolling to because they want to see what he gonna be doing this year. I get that.
Yeah,
They stuck with him though. They stuck with him. They know what they got. It ain't like they was ready to let him go fast. Yeah. How's he doing? How's Lonzo doing?
Lonzo. I mean, like I
Yeah,
said, we haven't seen him actually playing no games, but as
right.
far
I, I know I saw him on a couple of clips. I know I saw a couple of clips you had showed, you know what I'm saying, when he was getting work in the gym, you understand me?
yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like I said, Lonzo looked like he progressing. From
Yeah, that's
from
what
what
I
I
meant.
heard him say, from what I
Okay.
heard all accounts, he said that he should be ready for training camp and game one of the season.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Right.
So
Right. I know because,
let's
like I said, I saw one of your clips. You had said you had showed him shooting around, doing jumping and all this and that. You understand? So like, he getting right back up in order of things,
yeah, that's what we want to hope.
physically and mentally.
I can't wait. I can't wait to watch Lonzo play again. I feel like
Yeah. Yep. That's what's happening.
that's what he got a lot that he can bring.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's gonna happen in Chicago.
I didn't hear you.
I said, who knows if it's gonna happen in Chicago?
Oh, I wouldn't really wouldn't think so. I don't know because it depends on how ownership gonna go back and trying to get it back. Because this contract coming to 2 ends, we already know that. So he'll be coming a free agent real soon. So it depends on how much they gonna want him back. You understand me? How bad they gonna
I
want him
think
back?
he's going
But
back
if
to Chicago.
they going in the other direction, see, they don't want to go let Zach LaVine go. And DeRozan, it look like they willing to let DeRozan go. He
DeRozan
went
is
down.
gone.
Oh, I see the boy.
He
I'm
was
telling you, I didn't.
Sacramento.
I didn't know that. Boy, I'm telling you, I didn't know that. So they didn't already made that
Yeah.
move. Zoe coming back, and they're gonna have to hold Zoe down because Zoe running
Well,
with Zach LaVine.
well, you guys got to understand that
What
once
that?
they signed Patrick Williams, yeah, salute to you, Vern. And Mo said a salute to you also, Uncle Vern.
Yeah,
Um, once they signed Patrick Williams to that extension, then the writing was on the wall for the departure of DeMar DeRozan because DeMar DeRozan is the one who was in the way of Patrick Williams extending his development because DeMar was accruing the minutes that Patrick needed on the floor. So they extended Patrick, traded DeMar. I don't think they want to trade Zach LaVine. They tried to put smut on Zach LaVine's name by saying that there was no market for Zach LaVine. I think that's the most
I, I,
stupid,
I,
unscrupulous bullshit you can put out there that there's no market for an all-star.
well, you think they trying to shop him? You must can't hear me, Dad. No, you coming in and out, Dex.
I check.
You coming
What
in
about
and out.
now? I hate that when I do that.
Yeah, you coming in and out. That's what it is. Yeah, but I heard what you
Well,
said about the market.
you know, I think that's a trade market. Serious interest in the Bulls. I think Bulls going to pay Zach LaVine, and I think they was besmirching his name by saying that there is no market for Zach LaVine. I think that's utter bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, and I think
Yeah.
it's unscrupulous from the PR department to allow someone to parade that and spark that narrative in the media conglomerate, mainstream media, old media. You know what I'm saying? That you cannot have a non-market for an all-star like Zach LaVine. Come on, man. You can't. Come on, you can't do that. That's saying that you can't trade Devin Booker.
Hey, Dex, in reality, understand this, but for real though, but in reality, they didn't already set their move already. They gonna go with Zach LaVine. They ain't finna go against him. They're not finna get rid of him. They gonna roll with him. That's why they made the move between.
And I believe so.
I mean, he's the only superstar player they got. I mean, they wouldn't cut their nose off. I wouldn't see them trying to shop him because, like I said before, if that's the case, then what's gonna happen with Zoe? It ain't like
there you go, right there. There you go, Vern. See, you were so smart. Vern, you were so smart because Zoe and Zach are intimately connected.
Right. And it wasn't working. Remember, before Zoe went down, it wasn't working with that situation anyway because at fourth quarter, you understand me, 4 minutes to go, DeRozan was in charge. You dig?
Yep.
And that didn't work good. You understand me? It was already understood, but they were still struggling, still fighting anyway. But when it came down to it, they stayed ahead. But when it came down to it, that was the problem. That was the problem they had to deal with. They just dealt with that problem. Zach LaVine ain't going nowhere over their dead body.
So that's what I'm saying. I think it was a farce that they was really trying to shop Zach LaVine, and I just think it was a play between Clutch Sports and Arturus Corvis. I think it was a play between them two.
Yeah, I hear you.
And so I think at one point Zach did want to leave. He contemplated, and he told Chris Paul, "Find somewhere for me to go," because he was pissed not only at DeMar DeRozan the way that he was playing, but at Billy Donovan for embarrassing him by benching him. You know, and so when DeMar DeRozan went over there and interceded in a play that was drawn up for Zach LaVine, and then threw Zach LaVine under the bus by saying it took him too long to get there, so I went to the spot to save the play. And Alex Caruso ended up turning the ball over, and they lost. And I think that was against Dallas. And they lost that game where they blew the opportunity for a last-second shot by turning the ball over because two players went into the same area at the same time. And I think Zach was like, you know what, I'm done. I got enough. I got enough for this. And
All right, Dex, you ain't coming in. Dex, you going out.
you okay, hear me?
No, you going in and out, Dex. Now I can hear you right now at this moment, yes, but you going in and out, though. You just going in and out. That's what it is.
Okay, well, I don't know what part that I went on. I was just spewing.
Yeah, I understand. Like I said,
about Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan combination.
like I said, Zach LaVine ain't going. Zach LaVine ain't going nowhere from the Bulls. Dex, I wasn't too much worried about that. What? Hey, what?
Oh, I'm not worried about it. No, hold on. This is what I wanted to tell you before I went out, before I go out again. See, I think Zach LaVine was patiently waiting the health of Lonzo
I already know.
because he felt if Lonzo wasn't being able to come back, he wanted out.
Right.
But now you see that Lonzo can come back, and the phone calls they have exchanged, the few phone calls they have exchanged with each other, asking Lonzo is what he's seeing is real. I mean,
Right.
and Lonzo was like, yeah, this is real. I'm like 80% now, almost 90, right?
Right.
And then he saw the Chris Johnson video when Lonzo training with the other Clutch Sports clients
Right.
and brought Jello along with him to raise suspicion. Is Jello signing with Clutch Sports? What's going on? Is he done with Rock Nation? Because Rock Nation can't get him in the league. Rock Nation ain't showing no type of concern or power to implement Jello into a uniform somehow, some way.
Right.
Can Rich Paul do it?
Yeah.
So by Lonzo doing that, that showed Zach LaVine like, whoa, this dude look like he's about ready to come back. So hell, I ain't going nowhere. If Lonzo come back, I ain't trying to go nowhere. And I'm quite sure he communicated that with Rich Paul. If Lonzo really coming back, I'm gonna stay a Bull because I know Lonzo gonna make me an All-Star and put me in a position where damn near I'm an MVP candidate, a top 10 player, like he was when Lonzo was there. Zach LaVine was a top 10 player. Him and DeMar, 2 top 10 players on the same team.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I get it. With me, Dex, I wish the Charlotte make a move for him. With the money on the money side, he go there. But I know he ain't gonna go there. He gonna stick with Zach LaVine because Zach LaVine stuck with him. You dig on? And then Chicago, the organization, they stuck with him too. You dig? So I know he ain't gonna. I figure he'll be loyal to stick with them. You know what I'm saying? For another 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Down to it.
Yep. And Chicago is closer to winning now than Charlotte Hornets is. Charlotte Hornets still got a lot of growth to do and a lot of hurdles to jump to get back into that winning situation. They gotta get the chemistry right, and I think Chicago already have chemistry, enough chemistry to get them into a play-in situation.
Okay.
Charlotte is up.
Yeah.
83-77. Charlotte +6 in the fourth quarter. Yeah, go ahead, Bird.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I was going to ask you. Say, I bet. Yeah. Say Charlotte is up, huh?
Yeah, Charlotte is +5 right now. 87-80. Charlotte is up +5.
Yeah, that's good.
+5 with the ball. You know what? I don't know if you have watched any of the Charlotte Summer League games, but if you have, what is your assessment?
I ain't been watching none of Charlotte games or none of them. I've been watching a little bit of what's the name, the U.S. team. You know what I'm saying? What they've been doing. You understand me? But I ain't been watching none of Summer League games. I know they just recently came on Tuesday.
No, Summer League got started last week.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know. I wasn't even keeping up with it. I ain't been watching it like that. And if it's anybody I would watch, it'd be Charlotte and it'd be the Bulls. I want to see how they turn it up with the rookies and stuff. How they look with the freshmen. Especially the Bulls. I want to see how them guards looking.
Okay, Michael Godbolt. Chicago definitely have more chemistry than the Charlotte Hornets. You have to be absolutely delusional to think otherwise, because Charlotte Hornets have endured an injury-riddled season. The only person that get hurt on the team is Miles Bridges. Everybody else that got hurt out of the starting lineup, even Nick Richards. So Miles Bridges was your Iron Man last season. So it's hard to develop chemistry if you keep facing injuries at key positions on your team, and especially those positions that you need output from. Brandon Miller got hurt. Mark Williams, that was a killer right there. And LaMelo Ball was devastating. So you had a killer injury, a devastating injury, and then you have Brandon Miller sometimes in and out injury. So how can you develop chemistry, Mister, if you have pivotal positions that are playing with reduced talent? So that's going to do nothing but reduce you to a lower level in the standings. And that's good for any team. I don't care how mighty you are. If you've got relative talent that is injured, and especially your go-to talent is injured, then you're going to be deduced to the bottom portion of the competition in your conference and ultimately in the NBA. That's just a natural process. It's not a knock against Charlotte. It's just unfortunate and bad luck
I
for
agree.
Charlotte.
Yeah, I agree with that. Bad luck. Unfortunate bad luck, for that matter. You know, that's the way the ball bounced. You know, you can say the same about Zoe out there in Chicago, but anybody not only just that, it's about a whole lot of players, a lot of places. You know, wind up getting hurt at their opportunity.
Shout out to Jessica.
Yeah.
Jessica, we ain't had you on the panel in a while. We don't know where you stand. We don't know where Jessica stands in this new season because she hasn't been on the panel. She hasn't expressed, exposed, or elaborated on any of her basketball takes so far. Jessica, are you waiting for preseason? Are you waiting for the season? You don't care too much about the summer league and the off-season acquisitions made by the team of your choice?
Well, Jessica in the chat.
Yeah, she's in the chat, but she hasn't been on the panel to espouse any of her observation in the summer league, off-season acquisitions, the draft. Yeah, we haven't got her take on any of that. So I was just curious of where she stand because the Pelicans made a tremendous offseason move, putting them in the top 5 in offseason acquisitions amongst the 30 teams. And I think that's significant. When you have a Zion Williamson, you still have Brandon Ingram on your roster, even though they seem like they're trying to shop him, but he's still there. He's still inked in. And you still got CJ McCullough. So with all that said and done, with the acquisition of Javante Murray, I think the Pelicans gonna be a playoff team. I think they surpassed the play-in situation, especially if Zion Williamson stay healthy. I mean, that's a given, right? They could be a 5th seed or even a 4th seed.
Sounds
Yes,
good.
that's Uncle Bird for sure.
Hey, Jessica, how you doing? Yeah, well, I agree with you, Dex. And I also like what the Pelicans did in the rookie draft, too. They got a couple of players they needed. You know, they think that might help them later on in the future. I don't know if you hear me.
And it looks like the Charlotte Hornets gonna remain undefeated. We're in the 4th quarter. Charlotte's up by 4, 18 seconds left. Plenty of time for the New York Knicks to tie the game. So it looks like it's going to be a free throw contest because Nick Smith Jr. just turned the ball over. So the ball is going over to the New York Knicks down by 4. So the New York Knicks still have enough time to compensate for a 4-point deficit. 98-92, the New York Knicks is down by 4. Charlotte plus 4 with 18 seconds left. Chad, who you got? New York Knickerbockers or the Charlotte Hornets? Do the Bulls continue and the Charlotte Hornets swarm the New York Knicks and remain undefeated for the Summer League? We have to be honest. This is the best Summer League team we've seen from the Charlotte Hornets in a long, long time. So the Charlotte Hornets look like they're challenging a call. So we're going to wait the outcome of the call on the Nick Smith Jr. turnover. But right now, the arrow of possession is pointing towards the Knicks. So if the Charlotte Hornets do not get the ball, then the Knicks will have the ball with 11 seconds down by 3. The New York Knicks is down by 3. And the call stands. The New York Knicks will retain the ball. And, oh, shit, a foul. A foul with 11 seconds left. New York Knicks go to the charity strike to shoot the stimmy. And it's a 2-point ball game because Tyler hits 1 of 2. Tyler hits 2 of 2. A 1-point ball game. 92-91. Brandon Miller turns the ball over. Oh my God! New York Knicks timeout. B. Millie turns the beat over as a crucial junction in this ball game. New York Knicks is down by 2 according to the score. I think they took a point away because sometimes they go back and look at all of the 3-point shots, and it looks like they found that the New York Knicks was granted a 3-pointer, but the guy was on the line, so they take a point away. So the official score is 92-90. New York Knicks down by a bucket with 7 seconds left to go in the game. And New York Knicks call a full timeout. And let's see what kind of stratagem they bring back to the court to try to tie or even win this here contest and foil the Charlotte Hornets undefeated Summer League season with a victory tonight here in Las Vegas, as all eyes have descended on Summer League in Las Vegas, Nevada. So we had a timeout at this crucial junction of the game. Brandon Miller, with all of the superb play he did so far, made a bonehead turnover, and now the Knicks have a grand chance to tie or even take the lead. What a play and comeback for the New York Knicks as they are standing on business. Can the Charlotte Hornets remain undefeated? Can the Charlotte Hornets hold the New York Knicks with 7 seconds left on the clock? Oh my God, 7 seconds is left on the clock after Brandon Miller unscrupulously turns the ball over and awarded New York Knicks an opportunity to tie the game, Uncle Vern.
Oh, yeah. Stupidity.
I mean, will this erase all of the great work that Brandon Miller built up in this here competition against the New York Knicks with that last? Wait a minute. The New York Knicks missed. They missed the layup, and it went to Jacob Toppin. Oh my God, the younger brother of Obi Toppin, former NCAA Men Basketball Player of the Year, lottery pick for the New York Knicks. Obi Toppin, now extended member from the 2020 draft, getting his bread in Indiana. His little brother blew a layup. And now New York has to foul, and they foul. And send the Charlotte Hornets to the free throw line. And guess who goes to the free throw line? The guy who got the rebound. Nick Ever-Ready Bunny Smith go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Nick Smith makes the first of 2. Nick Smith made both of the free throws. It's a 4-point ball game, 4 seconds left. The Hornets do not have to play a lick of defense. They can allow the Knicks to shoot because there's no 4-point play. And here we go. And it's up. It's shot. And it's no good from the distance. The Charlotte Hornets hold on to another Summer League victory. Outstanding play for Brandon Miller. Nick Jr. come in the cloak of darkness at the 11th hour to save the day for the Charlotte Hornets when it looked like Brandon Miller almost gave the game away. with his reckless play at the end, being a little too comfortable, a little too careless, giving the Knicks an opportunity to tie the ball game. But Nick Smith Jr. said he's not having none of that, not on his watch.
So is the game over?
Shout out to Basil Carpenter Jr. Can anybody hear me? Mic check, mic check. I was reading off the stats. I don't know if you heard me read off the stats for today's game. Mic check. Basil said it's quiet. Mic check. Can y'all hear me? Please put an ear up if you can hear me. Oh, okay. So did you hear the stats testing? The stats that I read off for the game? Wait a minute. Jessica said somebody shot at Trump and it hit his ear. Are you freaking kidding me? What? Wow, you got a lot of crazy people out there, man. Okay, well, let me read these stats off again. I'm sorry, people. The Charlotte Hornets +4, 94-90. They staved off the comeback of the New York Knicks as the New York Knicks ratcheted up the intensity of their defense towards the winding end of this here game and caused the Charlotte Hornets to kind of freeze in their energetic play. The Charlotte Hornets had 45% from the field, which is decent, and it was 35% from the distance, which they can improve on, but it was well within range of average between 35 and 38%, which is kind of league average. So these young guys have no shame or embarrassment shooting 35% from the distance, and average is nothing to be regretful for. Free throws, they shot 13 or 15. They got 40 rebounds. They out-rebounded the Knicks. Offensively and defensively, they won the battle of the bulge in the restricted area. So kudos to the Charlotte Hornets for being tough because they are not known to be tough in the restricted area. Also, assists. Man, Coffee to the World coined the phrase, put energy into the ball here at Flight Sports TV. And the Charlotte Hornets definitely demonstrated that a little more than the New York Knicks, as the Charlotte Hornets ended up with 22 assists in this year's game. We would like them to have 25. Most coaches would love at least 25 assists in the game for the team. But 22 is nothing to be ashamed of. They were very altruistic, sharing the ball and allowing other players to perform. 5 steals, 5 blocks. Defensive stands for the Charlotte Hornets in the restricted area. So the Charlotte Hornets win the battle of the bulge in the restricted area. 18 turnovers. Now they have to work on that right there because they was +5 in the turnover category. That is not a plus number that you want on the stat sheet as far as team composition and team play. 18 turnovers, so they have to work on that. And this is why the game was a little more closer towards the end, because the New York Knicks was having the Charlotte Hornets turn the ball over. So that's something that they can improve on. They can improve in every category, but when you have 18 turnovers, you want a little less. I mean, it's less than 20. It's less than 20 for a game, and then a summer league game, because you're playing with players you're not used to. You're playing with players for the first time, and then the game is being officiated and played a little different when you're playing for all the marbles in a regular season game. So shout out to Nick Smith Jr., the ever-ready buddy, who led the Charlotte Hornets in scoring with 24, as Dwayne Washington Jr. led all scores in this year's competition with 26. So the Charlotte Hornets look pretty decent across the board in the team statistical category. So big ups to the coaching staff for the summer league. Charlotte had 3 players in double digits from the first 5, the competition tier for the summer league team. Nick Smith with 24, Brandon Miller, B. Millie with 23, and Simpson with 15 and 10. So he got a double-double. Like I was saying earlier, involved and focused, that they was able to beat a gritty and tough New York Knicks team and secure a victory. Shout out to everybody in the chat engaging. I appreciate your engagement, but just keep the decorum at a high level. Once again, we shout out Flight Sports TV for powering this stream and making it such a palatable situation and good taste for the tongue. Shout out to Flight Sports for that. And shout out to everybody that was currently in the chat. And once again, the Charlotte Hornets escaped a tremendous and ferocious battle with the New York Knickerbockers and remain unscathed in the loss column as the Charlotte Hornets continue their journey in Summer League to remain undefeated with this here version of the Charlotte Hornets summer team. And there's a lot of good things you can pick from this game. And then there's also highlights of things to be noticed, checked, and given attention to as room for improvement is still a must within the Charlotte organization. But let me tell you, it is a good day in the summer when the Charlotte Hornets coming off that disastrous injury-riddled season that compromised their competitive ability and exposed the fragileness of the Charlotte Hornets upper tier level of talent, not being able to sustain a full season without a serious injury. This has been ongoing for the Charlotte Hornets in the past 2 seasons. And let's see if that dark, ominous cloud have finally been removed over the Spectrum Center. And when we look up in the Queen City we see nothing but clear skies and stars in the sky when it's night. No more dark, ominous cloud hovering over the Spectrum Center and bringing negative information and energy to the hive. No more of that. I'm not blaming anyone for it, but I am blaming the previous regimes for allowing it to remain and go unchecked. So hopefully the casting of spells have rescinded from the Charlotte Hornets organization, and it's the dawn of a new day as we're watching these young men in the Charlotte Hornets uniform showcase a winning spirit, and hopefully it carries over to a winning environment. And this is the first phase of DEF CON 1 in the Charlotte Hornets organization. So no more 3 yards in a cloud of dust preventing you from making a first down. Now let's go 5 yards in a plume of nuclear waste. As the Charlotte Hornets go nuclear this year, as they have shown they are nuclear in the Summer League, remaining undefeated since the California Classic. Oh, some people say they can't hear me? Yeah, some people say they can hear me fine. That's interesting. I don't know what to say. Maybe I was going in and out. But I hope you heard and got and understand the gist of what I was talking about, because I think it's very important that the Charlotte Hornets remain a nuclear environment with the kind of atomic energy that causes a mushroom plume when they are defending their crib. And hopefully they can continue that kind of energy when they go on the road to meet their opposition outside of the Queen City. So I've been very skeptical on the Charlotte Hornets. I've been very skeptical on the Charlotte Hornets when it came time to be serious in the Queen City, because there's so much fun you can do, right? It's the sister of Atlanta, the baby sister of Atlanta. And do I need to say more when I say Atlanta, ATL? So there's a lot of off-court distraction, especially if you're not winning, right? So you have to compensate for your wounds. If you have become an organization that's constantly at the bottom of the ocean, hanging out with the lobsters, the crabs, and the oysters, and all those things that sit at the bottom of the ocean, then when you're not playing, you might not be focused. And that can lead you to partake in activities that can ultimately be the detriment to your career or your playing time within that city. And Charlotte is one of those underrated cities that you can get caught up in. Trust me, I know some stories. I won't repeat them here, but I know some stories. I know how they used to hang out and party, you know? And it wasn't the type of parties you can just go and have fun and come back. No, these are parties that come with retribution if you're not careful. And it can stymie your career. It could stigmatize your career, and it could develop a really negative narrative on your career. Those kind of parties. Where things can quickly go awry and get out of hand real quick. But if you're winning, you're unlikely to engage in some of the activities. I'm not saying you can't celebrate. I'm not saying you can't have fun. But when you're losing, who cares, right? After the game, oh, we lost another one, so who cares? Where the party at? So I can get my mind off of it. But this summer league team is putting the veterans and the mini veterans on notice that's going to wear a Charlotte Hornets uniform this season. They're putting them on notice. Like, hey man, we're winning in the summer league, so we want to keep that vibe going in training camp, preseason, and ultimately in the regular season, and it will positively affect their seeding in their conference going forward. That's what I like. Damn, they keep saying they can't hear me, Flight. Can anybody hear me? Flight, can you hear me? I am definitely sorry if you can't hear me. I don't know what to say because my equipment looks decent. I don't see any interference on my equipment. But I trust you if you can't hear me. I don't know if it's on Flight side. Wow. I gave a good spiel right there, even have to pat myself on the back. I'm sorry you guys wasn't able to hear it. It was a very sweet soliloquy. Oh, now you can hear me. Okay. So I hope you heard how I felt about the movement that's going on in Charlotte because Jeff Peterson has agitated the NBA soil. And I believe those moves and what the Charlotte Hornets Summer League team is doing, even though a lot of us don't pay attention to the Summer League or we don't give it the credit it deserves, but it is showing that these young men in the Summer League have hearkened to the call that Jeff Peterson wants these men in Charlotte Hornet uniform, regardless of the level of play that they participate in, to handle their business. And what I'm saying, and I want you guys to know this, here at Fight Sports TV, is that these youngsters, Jeff has sent these youngsters on a mission. Charles Lee have sent these youngsters on a mission to show up the veterans and the mini veterans in the Charlotte Hornets organization that winning is precedented. And it should be the foremost thing on your mind, winning. So by them continue to show that they can win, whether it's Summer League, but it's the first edition of Charlotte Hornets competition. That's what I want you to pay attention to. Who cares if it's Summer League? It's the first edition of the Charlotte Hornets competition. These are the brothers on the front line. And they're holding it down so far. And by Millie being a part of this, he is showing that he can be a sufficient lieutenant in this regime. So they better get the message. LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, Mark Williams, Grant Williams, Trey Mann, Meechik, all of these veterans and mini veterans that has comprised the Charlotte Hornets as they coalesce into a core. Get the message that winning is foremost. And we are witnessing this by observing the Charlotte Hornets Summer League team, which is the first edition, the first line of competition that we are able to see right now, that they have taken on the spirit of winning and being competitive at the level that they are on. And this is only symbolic of what Jeff Peterson and Charles Lee. Listen to that last name, Charles Lee. Okay? And he's in the South. Because we know North Carolina fly the Confederate flag, right? We know this. So let's not sleep on that. But that last name, Charles Lee, General Lee, Charles Lee, General Lee, Charles General Lee, in the South, is leading the Charlotte Hornets into a winning culture. Charles General Lee. You remember Dukes of Hazzard? What was the name of their car? General Lee. Did they fly the Confederate flag? Hell yeah. What it was called? So I think that's something we should give our attention to. Charles General Lee, leading the Charlotte Hornets, first edition of competition, that's the Summer League. The second edition would be training camp preseason. And the final edition would be the regular season and trade deadline aftermath. That would be the final edition of the competition that Charlotte Hornets will display on the hardwood this season. So with Jeff Peterson, auspicious moves and auspicious dictates as that scroll, yes, that scroll that rolls down, and Charles Lee received the scroll and write on the scroll, I second that. I endorse that. And then proceed to execute the commands in the direction of Jeff Peterson from the scroll given to Charles Lee. And what we are witnessing right now, pay attention, brothers and sisters. What we are witnessing right now is Charles Lee have wholesomely demonstrated that he has 100% faith in the scrolls that have been dictated to him by Jeff Peterson, that he could resonate with the members of the Charlotte Hornets coaching staff and players, and the results, or the devil is in the details, or the proof is in the pudding, however you want to classify it. Or you can say Charles Lee had put one leg, one leg of an elephant in the pants. So one leg of this elephant have already fit into some pants, some trousers. Now he has 3 more legs to do what most people feel it is impossible to do. Can Jeff Peterson and his team of the high executives resonate with Charles Lee and his team, coaching staff, and players, and they integrate the best of the minds, and Charlotte Hornet become a competitive product to put out there on the floor? I think so. I think so. I know it's only been about 4 preseason games or 5. I'm not sure how many they played in the California Classic. I know they played at least 3 because I watched 2 of them while they was undefeated because I want to see how Charles Lee bark out his instructions, and could the players receive those instructions and execute, as Charles Lee put them in winning situations after winning situations. That is situational basketball. That is something we have not seen in years past, that a coach in summer league are putting the talent on the floor in situational basketballs and having them execute profoundly and then come out with a victory. And you can see the difference with Charles Lee and this other coach. I don't know by name, I'm sorry. And this other coach compared to Jordan Sterling. You can see the difference. I mean, it is vastly different. they have passed. According to my eye test, they have passed. So regardless of what they do from this point on in the summer league, I'm not going to criticize. I only know a few of these players, but it was a supreme team effort to get them over the hump when the Knicks was clawing their way back into competition. The Charlotte Hornets, even though they almost wished this game away, that last Brandon Miller turnover, which was very unscrupulous of Brandon Miller, and I'm shocked that he even engaged in such a low-level play when I know Brandon Miller is a high processor. Nick, the quick, ever ready bunny, energized bunny, came and saved the day. Not only did he get a crucial rebound, but he made crucial free throws that put the game out of reach in the winding seconds of today's competition against the New York Knicks down here in overly heated Las Vegas, 118 inside the Thomas Mack Arena in front of the Summer League's faithful. Brandon Miller with 23 points. Nick Smith Jr., Nick the Quick, not Nick Van Exel, but Nick the Quick, this version of the Charlotte Hornets, led all Charlottes with 24. And listen, I know the Hive have to be excited. When you have this kind of talent in the Summer League, don't poo-poo on Summer League. Please don't poo-poo on Summer League, because a lot of stars came out of Summer League, i.e. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Devin Booker. Want me to continue? LeBron James played Summer League. Want me to continue? Hall of Famers have been in Summer League, so don't poo-poo Summer League. And even some vets have come to Summer League to participate to get their game back on track, to try to secure either 10-day contract, two-way contracts, or even veteran minimum contracts. They are called or invited to play in Summer League. So don't poo-poo the Summer League. Many players have gained traction in the Summer League and have showcased their skills with mad demonstrations out here on the court. And this is why I'm so ecstatic about the 2022 draft class. They didn't have a summer league. They didn't have a training camp. They went straight into the fire. And they was forged by that fire. And they end up being the opposite of what these punk-ass pundits paraded. That awful narrative that this is the weakest draft in 20 years, 2020. Yeah, that's what they was doing. I'm talking about some of the top pundits and basketball analysts. I'm not even speaking about the blowhards, because they really don't count, because all they doing is looking for clicks and clickbait. So they don't count. We know who they are. A lot of these streams who try to poo-poo on the 2020 draft. The most draft in history to get extensions from the players. Out of the top 14 players in the draft, they got 14 extensions. Can you believe that? What draft? No draft have ever done that. The top 14, which is the lottery, each and every one, even surprisingly, have got extensions. And even outside of that, 15 to 30, multiple have received their rookie extensions. Ain't no draft ever did that. And to top it off, 2 2020 draft, which highlighted level. So I guess that's why they kind of have reserves about the draft because of the lack of attention that LaMelo is getting in these past 2 seasons, and that's based on injury. He has yet to be sustainable since his All-Star breakout season, which was his sophomore season. We have yet to see a protracted demonstration by LaMelo Ball. We see it in spurts because we know in like 6 games he went like 27, 8, and 8, right? And then it came to a screeching halt because he got injured. And a lot of people became disappointed. And a lot of people jumped off the bandwagon. And they started searching for other players like John Morant. They start searching for other players and Ant-Man. They start searching for other players like Tyrese Maxey. But you guys going to come back on ship, and you're going to be welcome to come back on ship when LaMelo gets back in uniform and that Charlotte #1 be blazing in front of your TV screen. Some people have gone to the point where they accuse LaMelo of not being serious. I've seen on social media that they falsely claim that LaMelo backed out his car into a parking structure and had it hanging over the edge. Falsely claimed the man. They're saying he's not serious. He'd rather get tattoos than work on his ankles. False. Because you don't see it though. Don't take it's not being done. I was told directly from this camp that he is stronger than ever. They did not give me details, but I knew what they meant when they say he is stronger than ever. The only weak spot on the Melo was his lower extremities, right? Beneath his knees. So if he's stronger than ever, that means LaMelo follow up on what his dad always have suggested to him, because he have stilts of legs. They're real spindly to get into that water and run in that water. Because what that water does, and I am a perfect example of what water work does, it gets your body back in alignment. See, LaMelo and Lonzo and D'Angelo bodies were out of alignment to various activities or non-activities. And if you're not seeing a chiropractor on a regular, then your body is going to pop out of alignment and you don't even know it. And then by you walking, running, or jumping, when your body is out of alignment, now things become discombobulated. And when things become discombobulated, injuries occur. Simple injuries occur doing simple things. And you don't recognize it because to you it feels regular. And this is why Pops, the big baller, the big fella himself, always suggests for them to get in that pool and swim or run in the pool. And if you don't have the discipline to go to the pool on your own, then put the dog in the pool with you. Lonzo has a daughter. Put your daughter in the pool with you. Use some kind of mechanism to keep your motivation at peak form when you're inside that water. Because it can get boring. If you're not a natural swimmer, it can get boring, right? If you don't have people around you, it can get boring, right? Lonzo, take Ali Rose in that pool with you. Jello, take Nikki Baby in the pool with you. So that's why it is important to get in that water work. And Big Fella himself knows this because he was a former professional player. Water and ice. Get in that tub. You see how LeBron just jump into that tub and sit? That tub of ice is also crucial. You cannot be afraid to get into that tub of ice if you want to be the best version of yourself on that basketball court. And you want to keep your joints aligned with your muscles. You get in that ice because that ice reduces inflammation. And when you come off the court, your body is inflamed. It's natural because you got a lot of blood running through your veins, your capillaries, your arteries. You got blood and oxygen running through that. It's so oxygen the fast space causes inflammation. And to slow it down and to reduce the inflammation, you got to put it in a cooler environment. Why do you think they say, okay, man, just cool down a little bit. Just unwind, let your body cool down a little bit. When you run in track and field, why do you think the first thing they do once they cross the finish line is to cool down? They go looking for the shade. They reduce their movement so their bodies can cool down. So, like I said, I'm not an expert in physiology, but I have been to chiropractors and I get massages on a regular. And I'm not even a high level professional sports player. Chiropractors are not expensive like they used to be. When I was younger, it used to be $200 for the chiropractor. Now, it's about $75 for 30 minutes or maybe an hour to crack you back into alignment. And when you get cracked back into alignment, whether chiropractor or swimming pool, it increases years on your life because your body's not working hard due to the fact it is out of alignment. It is somewhat discombobulated. Things are stretched in places where they're not supposed to be. It reduces stress. And the Germans have always been up on this, right? The Germans have always been up on this. And once the Americans got up on this and started sharing this kind of training with their black athletes, the American athletic atmosphere became superior. The only area the American athletes have yet to dominate is soccer. So soccer is still out of our hands. But most other sports, especially Olympic sport, American dominates. We have recently took over gymnastics from the Chinese and Russians, right? Dominique Dawes, you remember her? Simone Biles, remember her? They were so far advanced that Dominique Dawes and Simone Biles have routines that are banned. They did not want other young girls attempting these aerial maneuvers. That's how advanced. It's almost like taking it back to say that Kareem couldn't dunk in college. Remember that? That Kareem rule? Will Chamberlain couldn't dunk in the NBA. if they didn't interfere with the little leagues from the 70s, the 80s, and we grew up and it became natural to pursue a ball in the outfield and make an acrobatic catch, even though you didn't have to make an acrobatic catch. It was almost taboo in Little League Baseball to make a one-handed catch. The coach will scream and will threaten to yank you out of the game if he ever saw you making a one-handed catch. Put two hands on the glove in the outfield. Now one-handed catch in outfield is practically normal. If they see you make a two-handed catch, they think you can't play. Damn, this dude caught the ball with two hands? He must be learning. When that was the standard. A one-hand catch was chauvinistic in Little League Baseball when I was growing up. So I say that to say this. When Allen Iverson did what he did to Michael Jordan, no need to go into depth, what happened? Did they change the rule? Or did they not change the rule? Because who was dribbling the ball with that kind of speed, mobility, and accuracy? Where it almost looked like it was on a yo-yo. Because when Tim Hardaway had his double-double dribble, it was between his legs and that was it. It was a mini hezzy. But Allen Iverson, like I said, he was a wizard with the ball. Because he was doing it, moving in multiple directions in a three-dimension atmosphere. And it was like, oh no, we can't do that. We gotta change the rules or enforce a rule that we hadn't really enforced in eons to discourage him from doing that. And make it a deterrent for others who's looking to come up into the league to demonstrate the same thing. Right? So when LaMelo Ball comes back off of his injury hiatus, you're going to see him do things that's going to be questionable by pushing the envelope of his dribble. And remember, he's doing this at 6'8", right? 6'7", 3/4, round about 6'8". He's not doing this at 5'10", 6'1". He's doing this at 6'8", lengthily and spindly. But he did, from what I heard, gain some weight. I don't know how credible it is, but it came from a credible source that he did gain some weight. But you know, it's a long summer. It's hot. People tend to lose weight in the heat. So let's see if he put on 10 pounds or more. Because he definitely can use to put on 10 to 15 pounds. Because LaMelo Ball will be determined. LaMelo Ball is going to be determined to get to that restricted area and get to that free throw line. He improved tremendously last season from previous season of attempts to get into that restricted area, and it ended up costing him his season. Paulo Banchero attempted to block the shot and fouled LaMelo. He came down awkwardly, cracked the ankle, re-cracked the ankle, and the rest is history. So, getting a little stronger down there with those tendons will serve him well when it comes time for him to get back into the thick of things. And that's what we're hoping. we're hoping that the Melo Ball and the Charlotte Hornets could be a low-tier, formidable team in the playoff competition scenario. If they can be 6 or 7, they have one play-in game to advance, or 2 play-in games to advance, depending on how well they play in the first, right? But both of those games will be inside the Spectrum Center. So it'll be an advantage, Charlotte Hornets. And the Hive should be buzzing if that is a scenario to be worked out. Now, if they become a 6 seed, they don't have to worry about the play-in tournament. Yes, they will be a road team, but they have 4 chances. Well, I won't say 4. Yeah, I can say 4. Can you say 4 or 7, right? I'm going to say 4 because you got to 4 to advance. You can play up to 7. You got to 4 to advance. So there's chances to around. So once again, we here at Flight Sports TV recognize the first edition of competition that started to just roll out under hardwood in the Summer League Classic and the Las Vegas Showcase. This is the first edition of that. And so far, we've been in good company because the Charlotte Hornets is undefeated. That's saying a lot to me. I don't know what it's saying to you. As a critic, I'm speaking from a critic standpoint. It says a lot to me that this team can come out and be undefeated in Summer League play. Regardless of none of these games and the stats doesn't correlate to the training camp and preseason and eventually to the regular season. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. As a critic and a skeptic, and you guys know I'm a hard skeptic on the Hornets. Big Al can vouch for that. Flight can vouch for that. Me and Flight had fisticuffs over the Hornets because I thought Flight was giving the Hornets a little too much credit. I thought Flight was giving the Charlotte Hornets too much credit. And I accused him of pandering to the audience, to the fan base. I accused him of that. And Flight gave his reasons why. And I stood my ground. And that is where we were indifferent at. The type of relevancy of the Charlotte Hornets. With or without LaMelo Ball. And now, my skepticism has been deduced. My criticism has been scaled back based on the fact of what Jeff Peterson have turned this young team into. What Charles Lee have extracted from the Boston atmosphere and placed it in the Charlotte Hornets atmosphere. From those two dynamics, I have scaled back my criticism. Because we've seen previous versions of the Charlotte Hornets with or without LiAngelo Ball. Without Angelo Ball, we have seen the despicable display of bad basketball in Summer League Charlotte Hornets teams. And now that seems to be eradicated in a grand fashion. And it's only Summer League. So you can imagine, listen, stream, listen, goddammit. You can imagine what it's going to look like when they have their top tier talent. When they have the top 5 talent on the floor for the Charlotte Hornets, you can imagine the approach to the game that they will be taking. Because these young cats is showing them this is a new dispensation. This zeitgeist, this zeitgeist. Listen to me. It's different. It's different, man. Call me crazy all you want, but I believe I'm a good observant of talent and will, and I believe once I analyze the product, I can espouse had cracked it to the point where if you're not used to seeing that kind of environment, you won't believe it. So we can come to a conclusion. Appreciate everybody rocking with Flight Sports TV. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss one iota of an exuberant experience. Cash App, PayPal, and Super Chat is available for digital currency if you're feeling a little gifty and generous.
This is Holly Heat of the Hot Seat with Holly Heat, and this is Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.